Hello, everybody. How are you all doing tonight? How's everyone doing? How are we at? What we doing, everybody? Well, this has been very interesting. This has been an interesting week, hasn't it? Like, we've had quite a little marathon going on and all that stuff. Like, I mean, this is like my 4th live stream this week, so yeah, this is crazy and all that stuff. Like, I've been more live here than I have on my main channel, so it's crazy stuff. But anyway, like, there has been something I have been hearing about quite a bit throughout this week. Just haven't really gotten around to it until now, which is the quartering drama with Kino Casino, right? We've got a few videos that we're going to actually react to and all that stuff to get like a kind of insight into what's going on here. We've also got some tweets that we're going to look at. So, you know, all this stuff. But anyway, let's get right into it, shall we, guys? Let's do it. Let's get right into this stuff. So, I think we're going to watch, we're going to watch Shockmouth's video on the whole thing. And I've met Shockmouths before. I know who he is. He's a pretty good channel. I think this is like, I think he's actually like newish. If we just have a look. I think he's pretty, like, he's recently started making videos. Or maybe not. No? Okay. Well, maybe I'm thinking about somebody else then. But yeah, I know this guy. I know who he is and all that stuff. I believe his name is Mitch. Yeah, used to be on Now Recording and all that stuff. So yeah, we're going to get right into his video. Because I'm very eager to find out what the quartering has been doing to rile up all this outrage against him. So let's get right into it, shall we, guys? Let's do it. Let's get right into the videos.
I put on my mom's bra when I was like a kid. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't.
Whoa!
Hello everyone and welcome back to Shockmouth's News, where we take the news that was too long and you didn't read and give it to you straight. The quartering has mentally snapped yet again and taken aim at the Kino Casino boys. For those who don't know the players in this story, in the one corner we have the Quartering, who is a YouTuber who uploads daily videos on trending topics. And when I say he uploads daily, I don't mean one video a day. That would be too easy. The Quartering uploads up to 5 videos a day, which basically could have just been a stream. It could have been a stream, my guy. In the other corner, we have the Kino Casino boys, who are PPP and Andy Warski, who stream over on Kick, where they make fun of people and have a good time. One of the people they've been making fun of a lot lately is the Quartering, insinuating that he's a lazy cuck. Quartering didn't like this very much, claiming that this has led to his wife being harassed and that they questioned his friends.
I'm sorry, this whole outrage, this whole drama has just been it's basically coming off the back of, like, somebody calling Quartering a cuck. Like, fuck me, Quartering, buddy. You're really starting to turn into Dark Viper, ain't you, buddy? Mr. Thin-Skin Bitch over here. Literally. Like, you couldn't handle that? I mean, this guy fucking rolls around in the mud with people all the time, and he can't handle it when he gets called a cuck. Fuck me.
Integrity, and Quartering then allegedly issued a takedown of a YouTube video on the Kino Casino Clips channel, which was titled The Quartering's Bull Exposed. Criminal Past and Jeremy agrees to Caleb Hammer review.
I put on my mom's bra when I was like a kid. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't.
The video has since been reinstated, but the Quartering claims he never issued the takedown in the first place and doesn't know how it happened. We'll be covering that at the end of this video. This video takedown, of course, has had the Barbra Streisand effect, because if this takedown had not happened, then we probably wouldn't be talking about it today. So the Quartering has claimed that he didn't try to take the video down, but what is certain that he has done is said this: if these clowns keep going after my friends, family, just because they don't like me, totally fine. I will in fact take...
I'm sorry, but even if it is Kino Casino's audience, you know, basically, like, let's say, for instance, the Quartering is actually being, like like he is actually being honest that his what do you call it, his wife's being harassed by a bunch of people and all that stuff. Let's say, for instance, that on a hypothetical basis, because the Quartering is a very dishonest figure. He is pretty fucking dishonest when it comes to certain things, especially when addressing fucking criticism or addressing people in general, right? But like, let's say, for instance, he's telling the truth on this one occasion. Like, where you got weirdos messaging his wife, calling her phone, you know, like how he says here, people harassing his friends and all that stuff, right? You know, like sure, that's awful. You know, like I wouldn't want that to happen to anybody. But at the same time, I wouldn't want that to happen to anyone offline, right? Like people that are not in the know, people that aren't seeing it coming and all that. You know, normal people basically just living their lives. I wouldn't want anyone to have to deal with that shit. Like just because you're like friends with the Quartering, or because you are married to the Quartering, even though I couldn't imagine a worse hell. But like let's say, for instance, this is the case, okay? So yeah, it's a terrible thing, you know, like harassment is bad. Don't do it. But like my issue with my issue with this is this, like, how does getting rid of Kino Casino, like how does getting rid of Kino Casino like make all that shit go away? Right? Oh, we made fun of you, we called you a cuck. And then people harass your wife. It's just like, it's not really on Kino Casino, I don't think. I don't think it's on Kino Casino at all, because, like, you can't really control your own audience. That's the thing. Your audience will do as they please, right? If I say, Kronos, don't go and harass the Quartering, don't go and write terrible stuff in his chat, maybe you won't. But that will be ultimately your decision not to do that. You know, I can try and influence you not to do that, but I have no actual control over your actions. It's as simple as that can be, right? It is as simple as that can be. I'm not gonna have much sway over the general public, you know? So I don't think you can really blame Kino Casino for what a bunch of fucking weirdos are doing. All they do, basically, is they find somebody and they make fun of them, as, like, Shockmouths did say, right? As this guy did say. And basically just roast them, basically. That's all they do. That is all they do. It's so fucking silly.
Everything they have and never apologize for it. Psycho weirdos are messaging my wife, calling her phone, people harassing my friends, roast me, fine. There used to be a line, I don't give a fuck what you say about me, but these psychos are harassing my family, my wife, and my friends. They have no rules, and starting today, neither do I. I never wanted to do any of this. I begged these guys to just chill and only make fun of me. They refused, and so now I have no choice. He then said, I have reached out privately to both him and PPP. I have reached out via intermediary. All I asked is they leave my family alone. I begged them to be reasonable.
Sorry, where is the proof here that Kino Casino was going after the Quartering's wife? Where is the fucking proof of that? Where is the evidence that shows that PPP and this other person, right, was going after his wife? It's literally like you're confusing the audience with the channel itself. Like, I can understand why the Quartering is considered a lolcow now. I'm gonna make out with you, British no homo. Okay, that's pretty fucking homo, not gonna lie.
I said making fun of me is fine. They refused. They want to continue to harass my wife, family, and friends. First will be their YouTube, which is in violation of ban evasion. Easy takedown. And next will be your kick. I literally begged you two to be reasonable. I tried everything. You chose this. All I wanted was to let you guys dunk on me. Right, friends. First will be their YouTube, which is in violation of ban evasion. Easy takedown. And next will be your kick. I literally...
It's like, let's say, for instance, this was a bluff, right? He wasn't actually going to do this. How bad is it yet that Kino Casino's channel has been taken down by YouTube for, like, actual, like, people flagging the channel? How bad is that now? How does that make Quartering look? like, this is such a stupid thing to do, right? Because let's say, for instance, yeah, like, in this case, you make these threats, and then it actually fucking happens, and, like, or say, for instance, you make these threats, you don't actually mean the threats, you just want to scare them off and all that stuff, right? You're doing something to try and scare them off, even though it's not going to fucking work, because they're just going to laugh at you. But, like, the intention is to scare these people away, right? Let's say, for instance, that, right? How bad is it now that the channel has actually been deleted by false flags, right? That makes the quartering look really fucking bad here, because, like, you said prior to this that you were going to do this, and now the channel is gone. So yeah, that's a really fucking bad look, buddy. So yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that the quartering was behind this. He's gonna sit there and go, well, on my main channel, my what are you calling it? Fucking hell. My report history, it is all blank and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, I don't really think that you're going to false flag somebody on your main channel, because it can actually, if it's determined that you did falsely flag a channel, it can result in your channel's termination and all that stuff, right? Or suspension. You know, like, your channel will be punished because you false flagged another creator. You know, like, false flagging is punishable by a termination. At least I believe so. Could be copyright strikes, but, you know. Someone says gay, drink pops in.
Begged you two to be reasonable. I tried everything. You chose this. All I wanted was to let you guys dunk on me. All their fans justifying making my wife live in terror. I hope you all support them financially because it's your fault.
Like, bro. Live in fucking terror. She gets a bunch of fucking weirdo messages, a bunch of weirdos calling her, apparently. Again, just gonna take that with a pinch of salt, because quartering does lie quite often. So, again, like, when you lie quite often, I have no choice but to actually take you with a pinch of salt. It's the same thing with Smash JT, just making leaps of logic every now and again. It's just like, because of that, I have to take everything you say with a pinch of salt. You know? So, like, this is literal Dark Viper coded. This is literal Dark Viper coded. This is, like, it's literally just making, like, a leap of logic here. All of their fans justifying making my wife living terror. I'll tell you what, yeah, like, let's say, for instance, on a hypothetical basis that is happening. Why would Kino Casino be at fault here? Oh, they called you a cuck. Oh, they made fun of you. That, like, unless there was, like, a call to action in the live stream itself, or in the clip itself, right? I don't think you can sit here and go, oh yeah, the Kino Casino guys are responsible for this. It's like those people came down to their own conclusions of what they were going to do, essentially, right? These weirdos, like, what do you call it, may be in their audience, but that's not a fault of the creator, that's a fault of the members of the audience, right? You're gonna get weirdos that will do this shit in anyone's audience.
They are about to lose 100k a year. In response to this, Andy Warski said,
also, the quartering would sit there and fucking mock people if this was their response to someone calling them a cuck. The quartering would rip that shit apart. He would rip that creator apart and call you a pussy, basically. He would immediately fucking do that. You know he fucking would. You know he would. So it's very hypocritical for him to, like, fucking do this shit.
Has admitted to flagging us. He is trying to get us banned on Kick for making fun of him. He claims I am ban evading on YouTube, which I was unbanned earlier this year. The channel is ran by someone else. Also, you bring up your wife daily. Shut the fuck up.
He brings his wife up every show, and we always scream.
Oh my god,
"Stop!"
seriously. So when you're gonna sit there and go, oh, you know, like, my wife this, my wife that. If you're bringing up your wife in your content, dude, I'm sorry, like, people are going to start to get interested in that. You shouldn't bring up your fucking family members at all in your content, okay? Shouldn't talk about your fucking wife, shouldn't talk about your family. I'm not saying it justifies it, but at the same time, you're the one who's kind of, like, bringing this shit to the forefront by constantly talking about the person that you want people to leave alone. It's like you're not helping yourself, are you? You're not helping yourself when you don't actually, like, you know, go, maybe I don't want people talking about my wife. So instead of mentioning my wife on stream, I'm just not going to talk about it because I don't want to bring attention to my family member. I don't want to bring attention to my wife. It's just that simple. More over 14 pages, the quarter pounder, about to drop 14 uploads a day.
Stop bringing her up.
PPP said, even Jarbo clowns on you now, Jeremy. Hang your head in shame, cuckold. And attached is a screenshot from Matt Jarbo. Now, for those who don't remember Matt Jarbo, he was a...
Like, I'm just going to give Quartering the same response he normally gives other people, right? Whenever they say that they've been harassed on their Instagram. Like, say, for instance, an actor, right, is playing a role in a film or a TV show. People don't like it. They go and harass the actor because they don't believe that they're the right fit. Even though you shouldn't do that, you should really go after the company, not the, or go after the studio and give your complaints to them rather than going to the actor who's simply just playing a fucking role, simply doing a job, you know? Like, the Quartering would go like, well, I didn't see any evidence of this, like, you know, I didn't see any evidence of, racism towards this person of color. No, I didn't see any evidence, so how do we know that this even happened? Same thing to you, Quartering. How do I know, that people have really been harassing your wife and your friends? How do I know this? You're not showing me any proof. Can we see the messages, Quartering? Can we see those messages? Like, literally, it is literally reap what you sow at this point. Reap what you sow, Quartering. If you have to see messages from other people who come out with their stories about harassment, then we should, like, you know, ask the same of you. We should be asking the same of you. Pull up the screenshots of the text messages that you guys have been getting, and hey, I'll believe that you've been harassed. Simple as that can fucking be. Until then, I'm just gonna think that you're just lying because you want to make yourself look like a victim. When you're not really. All the guys did to you was call you a cuck.
YouTuber called Mundane Matt, who you may remember, or may not, that he would take down videos of YouTubers he didn't like by using the copyright strike function.
I'm sorry, I'm a soy-filled bitch and like your videos.
So now that you remember who Matt Jarbo is, he said, remember that time you got really sad about Gina Carano having a boyfriend and you were talking about how you'd gladly be her cuck? My point is that no one believes you'll do anything but cry about it in your basement. PPP goes on, even Jarbo wasn't this shameless. I will now never stop felting you, Jeremy. You genuinely have no power anywhere. You are a cuckold and you won't be doing shit. You are ruining your career and reputation in real time in a drunken spiral. Sober up and seek Christ, buddy. And then PPP posted this screenshot from DMs between Josh Moon and the Quartering, saying, just so people are aware, these are the mafia.
Isn't Josh Moon the guy who owns Kiwi Farms? Am I remembering that correctly? Or is there somebody else? This is a bit strange.
On extortion tactics that the Quartering is now using in private DMs with Josh Moon. You are not a King Hambley. You need to accept that I can call you a cuck on the internet. You have a bull in your house. Pound sand. And then he attached a screenshot of that conversation between Josh Moon and the Quartering. But since he tweeted this yesterday, this entire conversation has been posted onto Kiwi Farms, which we will be reading the entire transcript at the end of this video. But just before we do, one final thing. The Quartering claimed that he was going to go Scorched Earth on Kino Casino on Kick. He did this to a whopping 6 concurrent live viewers, where, spoiler alert, he did not go Scorched Earth.
Chat, does anybody... Oh, I don't even know. Chat's a disaster today. Sorry.
6 live viewers? Are you fucking serious? I don't know if that's like a dig or if that's, you know, the actual case. But if this guy's getting like 6 viewers on Kick, Oh boy, something's really gone terribly wrong there. Because, like, the quartering is, like, you know, say what you will about him, but he's a very popular YouTuber. So why the fuck is he getting so little viewership on Kick?
All right, guys.
Chat.
It's you know,
Oh no.
some people are some new fans. Got some new fans, and
The Kino Casino boys also streamed today, and they went a little bit something like this.
Well, I'm still fucking here, bitch!
Recently, or is it old?
What
do you fucking think about that?
where this, like, I think it was Iran. I don't know.
Over 10,000 watching Kino Casino right now. Actual viewers, Jer.
Where was it? Yeah, it was
Right, that's one of the reasons why I like watching Kino Casino, because they're so fucking on point with their comedy.
But now let's get into these DMs between Josh Moon and the Quartering. But just before we do that, if you've made it this far, why don't you subscribe? Just do it. All right, let's go. The Quartering starts with, if they don't leave my family out of it, I am going to take everything they have. I'll never apologize for it either. I haven't done any flagging. They're
Hey, Quartering, why don't you show me some fucking proof that your wife was harassed? Seeming as you require proof to show that the actors playing a role in a TV show were harassed by the fucking toxic fan bases and all that shit. How about you show me some proof, Quartering? Live by what you say, you know? You say, hey, this actor says that they were harassed by the toxic fan base. Well, I'm gonna need to see some proof of this before I can confirm this actually happened. Well, how about you then, Quartering? Can you show me some proof of your wife's harassment? Show me some proof, Quartering, and then maybe I'll believe you. Okay.
channel is a walking terms of service violation. I know they are ban evading. It would have been way easy to have their channel removed. I haven't done that. I know you're a big mad at me, but if they keep bringing my family into shit, I will act. Josh responds, I'm not mad at you, and I have no idea why would choose to proceed any statement with such an obviously false and disingenuous pretense.
Oh my god.
If you think
It literally is. The Quartering is turning into Dark Viper. He just needs to start writing essays.
Triple P is ordering people or even casually implying that people should contact anyone in
my
your
God.
family, you're wrong, but I think you know that already. I also think that as a 2-decade veteran of internet communications and someone around during Gamergate, you know by now that the one thing you should never do is give harassment attention. So I'm not sure why you're choosing to do that. The one thing that stands out as a possibility, of course, is that, like Brianna Wu, you're using alleged harassment as pretense for a deplatforming campaign, which would be ridiculous and morally abhorrent. But also, you know that. It sucks because I like Andy, I guess. You're right, I should ignore. He did not ignore. I have tried to reason with them. I think he means tried to reason, but I think he might be drinking. I have tried to reason with them. Now I have no choice but to take it.
Chat, this is how you ignore people, right? You turn off notifications on your phone, right? You log off of the computer. That's how you ignore this stuff, right? But I guarantee the Quartering is so terminally online that he will just, like, he just can't bring himself to turn those notifications off because he feeds off this shit.
Everything they have. I hate that because I like Andy. Josh says, nobody can stop you from trying, but the road of lawfare and deplatforming is extremely high risk. Kino Casino is one of the biggest streams on Kick, with probably the highest revenue on the platform. They also do paint by numbers pretty well, and don't really do anything too offensive by today's standards. Their fans are also dedicated. Meanwhile, lawfare can take 5+ years, and they can find sympathetic representation at a good rate, while you'll have to find full-priced attorneys. Yeah, man, I get it. I don't blame you at all. Kick CEO already added me back, so we'll see. I never cared about them memeing on me at all. And I get people's, and then he accidentally sends too early, I guess, and then it took, he comes down here and says, view, and I...
Bro, like, is that even, like, a fucking clout, like, thing to be, like, friends with, like, the CEO of Kick? Like, I'm sorry, but I just don't really, like, why would I care if you're friends with the Kick CEO, right? It's like saying that you're friends with Dan Clancy. It's just like, okay, cool. You know, like, it's like, you know, like, at work today, yeah, people were telling me that a fucking celebrity had, walked into the restaurant. And I was like, oh, cool. You know, like, I just didn't really care. Especially considering, they're only known for a TV show that I don't even fucking watch, you know? Which is a true story, actually. That did actually happen. Everybody got, like, a selfie with them. Like, fortunately, though, I say fortunately because I just don't give a fuck, right? I arrived too late. The guy already left.
Get people's viewers will do whatever, but now my wife is literally terrified, so I have to act. I think he means to act. This is like decoding a drunk man's drunk messages. But in between those messages, Moon had said, even doing that road opens you up to scorn and ridicule of the entire internet, so I'm not sure how it's advantageous. You're broadcasting to everyone. This is what, quote, this is what I can't stand and it really bothers me. Please don't do it, unquote. Quartering then says, I hear that. Taking down channels is something I have never wanted to do in 20 years, but I begged them to be reasonable. I honestly didn't know about...
No, fuck it. I begged them, guys. I begged. I got on my knees. Put my hands together and said, please, please just be reasonable. Sorry, that doesn't sound like the quartering I fucking know, right? That doesn't sound like the quartering I know. He got on his fucking knees and begged Kina Casino to just... Please be reasonable, sir. Oh my god, he's not beating the cuck allegations.
My friend and his shit. Lol. I haven't talked to him since. I had no idea he was such a degen. Josh says, like, let's put it this way. Let's say you get them deplatformed and then they sue for something like torturous interference. They can call your wife and sell her in as witnesses, and they get 6 hours to depose them under oath. They can also subpoena your tax records.
But I think one of the things that they would kind of bring up is, like, how can you blame Kino Casino for what's happening to your wife, right? When they're not responsible for that shit. All they did was make fun of the quartering, you know? And also the numerous times that he brings his wife up and all that stuff, right, on stream. That's the only things that I think that they were even talking about, right? Or even made fun of. And that was it. So, like, how can you, like, reasonably say that Kino Casino is responsible for the harassment your wife allegedly is getting, right? How can you say that? Unless, as I said before, unless there was like a call to action to go out and message, call, and do stuff to his wife sort of thing, right? I don't think you can sit there and prove that they are responsible for what is happening in your personal life, okay?
It's not fun. Yeah, I'm not worried about lawfare. My wife supports me, absolutely, and their lies are literal fiction. She's the one that said to do it. I really wish they would have followed the rules. Roast me all you want, but my family is off limits. I don't need to sue to get their YouTube shut down. PPP is ban evading. I don't want to do that. I have not sent a single flag, and I know you will publish all this. Josh says, yeah, buddy. Yeah, but they can sue for that potentially, and then they have no discovery anyways. It's not a one-way street. Also, interesting to note that Josh has been sending the messages, like, he's put lots of thought and effort because it's nowhere near as rapid fire as Jeremy here. Like, bam, 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 bam. Bam! You know when someone does that rapid fire, that they're not really thinking about what they're saying or giving it any thought. It's just as soon as it rolls off the tongue, kind of. Josh says, yeah, but they can sue for that, potentially, and then you have discovery anyways. It's not a one-way street. Jeremy says, you're right, but I am not worried about discovery at all. That's what they want, but I have nothing to hide. Hell, I offered to give a fat retard nobody financial details.
What?
I don't know why I'm even messaging you.
Why would you offer to give somebody your financial details? What the fuck, quartering? What is going on, buddy? I offered to give someone financial details. Like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? It's like the quartering just willingly, like, you know, like just gives out personal information or some shit like that, right? Just talks about his personal life willingly. But when someone makes fun of him for doing so, all of a sudden there's harassment of his wife and all that stuff, right? So fucking stupid.
Because I know you'll sell me out anyway. It's just the old internet in me. I used to love Andy and meme culture, but my wife is terrified. Weirdos are messaging her, and she's a normie. As far as I'm aware, by the way, all three of us got unbanned on YouTube after Trump yelled at Google about censorship, so I don't think any of us are ban evading. I have no choice. I think he just ignored that and kept rapid firing. I have no choice. I hope that's true, to be honest, but their channel is basically full on terms of service violation. How so? I think most of it is probably within the lines, to be honest. Have no idea why their video got flagged, then reinstated. Maybe it was my buddy, but it was public record, so that was odd. I have never seen a video get taken down so fast. So I have no idea what was even in it. That wasn't me, but Eddie over at Kick already added me, and if I want to, I could take their channel. I really don't want to, but I have begged them to be reasonable. I have zero interest in dealing with this shit, but if my wife gets one more call or text message, I'll burn it all down, and my viewers will support me. I don't know if you're married or with anyone.
Also, I want to understand, yeah, how the quartering is able to connect a random fucking shitter, yeah? A random chatter to Kino Casino. Like, what proof is there to connect these two things together? I guess, like, the timing is one of the things that you probably would point to. But other than that, I don't really think you're going to have a great time proving it was Kino Casino who, like, you know, is responsible for this shit. Because, I mean, like, are any of us really responsible for what our audience decides to do with their spare time? Not really.
I think your coffee review was one of the best. He brings up his... Wait, is he bringing up his coffee review? His coffee brand? Coffee? Jesus Christ, he can't even keep his coffee brand out of a meltdown. Gotta plug it some... You've got to get that plug in. You got to sell that coffee.
Like, it is literally scratching at the bottom of the barrel trying to find anything of substance to, like, substantiate your claims, right? Oh, these people made fun of me, which is cool. I don't mind that. But then the viewers harass my wife. It's just like, bro, what the fuck are you on about, dude? Like... It's just like, how can you put this on the two guys on Kino Casino? I just don't understand how you could really like say it's their fault when it's actually, you know, allegedly it's one of their viewers' faults because they were the ones who did it, right? Allegedly. The internet will destroy your mind, and when I say internet, I mean people. Yeah. I don't really care. Like, you can't take everything fucking seriously at this point. I mean, obviously, if your wife was getting harassed by a bunch of people, you would take that seriously. But, like again, it's just like, how can you sit there and say that Kino Casino are responsible for that when all they did was take the piss out of you? That's it. Just react to a bunch of clips of quartering and make fun of him, and he'll say that you're harassing his wife. It doesn't exactly, fill you up with a vote of confidence, does it?
But when you're with someone, if not now, you'll know this. This is no option. I'm not Mundane Matt. My viewers 100% support this. I stand by supporting your site's legal battle either way, Josh. So, like... There are people who don't like PPP, and if you say stuff like, my wife is getting angry messages, so I'm going to attack PPP, you're basically telegraphing to these people that they should fuck with your wife because it will cause problems for two people they don't like at the same time. It's good advice. It's good advice. That's why it's generally recommended you don't say stuff like this that are on the internet in public. Josh, can we agree I can take their Kick and YouTube, right? If I actually wanted to, they would be deplatformed outside of DLive in a week. I don't want that. I just want them to leave my family alone. I don't care how many Jeremy is a cuck videos they put out. Like, I have a non-Pajit YouTube rep. Like, you know that, right? One phone call. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, I just realized this quartering being racist. He has a YouTube rep that is not in India. All right. Okay, I have a non-Pajit YouTube rep. You know that, right? One phone call, gone. I have endured a lot with literally the tiniest request. I actually think they have an incredible ceiling. They are hilarious. They just have to stay within the terms of service. They don't have many attempts left. They are amazing at this. The show is hilarious. I would literally be promoting it, even if they made fun of me. But they don't understand the line. This isn't 2001. At least I will forever know my coffee.
This isn't 2001. What the fuck are you talking about? YouTube only came about in 2005, you fucking moron, right? At least I will forever know my coffee is better than Pepper's. Wow. Okay.
Coffee is better than Peppers. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes you think something is really easy to deplatform, and it ends up being impossible. It's kind of hard to say the fat guy dressed like Peter Cottontail is posing an imminent threat. Yo, lol, yeah, that's true.
That's funny.
I just want to remind everybody that Kina Casino today got 10,000 concurrent viewers, and Jeremy here got 6. So, I don't know exactly how much pull Jeremy actually has, or if he's been huffing too much of the good stuff. By huffing, I mean guzzling. Guzzling the good stuff. Lol, yeah, that's true. But, like, I don't want to deplatform them. I want to promote them. I don't want to put you in the middle, so I'll leave this here. I still support Kiwi Farms existing and will help any way I can with the legal battle. I appreciate you being open to chatting about it. I never flagged them. I assume it was the normies they were outing. You know, I've been around long enough to know flagging shit is a death sentence. Josh says, yeah, I know, nobody likes a Randall though. I still don't think they cross any red lines in modern era Kick or even YouTube. I'm just curious why this now, because they've been saying a lot about your relationship behavior with Double M and Hannah Claire for months. I think Double M might be Mundane Matt, I'm not sure. What happened in the last week to cause this crisis? Yeah, it's never been an issue until people started spamming my wife. I literally don't care that they make fun of me. Like, her family has seen this shit. Unofficial truce. They delete the videos attacking our marriage. I never mention it again.
Oh my God.
The more they do it, the more I...
Attacking our marriage. Bro, such a fucking exagger... That is so, like... Like, that's such a fucking exaggeration. Oh, they took the piss out of my wife. Oh, they're attacking our marriage! Like, bro, like... Yeah, again, doesn't really fill me with confidence on his side at all. Like, it just makes me feel like, you know, this guy is super sensitive and all that shit, right? And he's just using this to try and say, oh, they sent messages to my wife and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, this guy's so sensitive. I'm sorry, but that is just, like, really fucking sensitive. Like, again, though, gonna need to see those DMs. I'm gonna need to see those text messages, Quartering. Otherwise, I'm just gonna say you're a fucking liar, sir.
I want to flex my connections to bury them. This is a one-time offer. They can meme on anyone else they want. I don't care if they meme on my friend, who apparently has a questionable past, but this is an exploding offer. If they want to go to war, I will win. I assume all these messages will be public, but yes, that was a good prediction. But I like Andy. Just get rid of the videos claiming I let some fuck my wife, and they continue to make 10k a month on YouTube, and I move on. But they continue to spread disgusting lies about my family, and I have no choice but to react. It's time for them to make a business decision. This is a win-win. I can burn it all down. Lol. I have 5 years guaranteed salary at Rumble. If they bulk, that's not on you, and I still support Kiwi Farms. Broker the ceasefire and everyone wins, lol. Josh says, I don't know why they would accept that, though. If someone made that same offer to you, would you take it? Hey, that's cool. It's not your job to broker it. Any retard who has been as banned as much as both of them have would, if they are smart, but none of this reflects on you. It's all good. I wish you the best. I'm just saying, I've received offers like that, and my answer has always been no. I don't like it when people try to dictate what I or my forum can and cannot say. I'll let him know, though. Jeremy then says, yeah, I get it. I know we have our differences, and this is all outside of that. I wish you the best, and support Kiwi Farms either way. Tomorrow at noon, I'm going public on everything. Not this conversation, though. You know what? Don't even worry about it. I'ma handle it tomorrow, smiley face. I did send the offer to him, but he feels it's an extortion effort. I'll be watching the stream on Monday. So then after one of these pages, PPP posted, which then sent Jeremy a little more crazy. I saw PPP decided to just put out the DMs, which is fine. I expected it, but if they are not interested in being civil, there really isn't any reason in giving the time of day. If I had known you were going to feature it, I would have and should have told you. My bad. I sent him the portion of the DM that contained your offer, like you asked, but I did send him the full conversation because I feel like you're outlining an extortion scheme. I was asking about your plans in the chat and ignored that, plus my DM on Twitter. I saw in your stream you had no unread messages, so I know you saw it. You just thought you'd let me advertise your stream for you to talk about Iran half-heartedly. I don't appreciate that. So, for those as well who have no idea who the Quartering is, lately he has been going all in on the Iran war. He wants war with Iran, and he is supporting Trump in Trump's efforts against Iran. And that's basically all that he streamed today, was him saying, about the Iran war.
Maybe it wasn't Iran. It was some like state media outlet. I really want to find the clip because it's hilarious.
Recently, or is it old?
I mean, yeah, the Quartering will just say shit, yeah, just to get views. It is just that.
Didn't really talk about Kino Casino at all, despite him bragging that he was going to go scorched earth. You're on a bridge burning and mistake making spree that reminds me of Rakita by the numbers. I don't feel like anything I say will help at this point, and since you're threatening litigation, it's probably not a good idea to say much more. And that's where the story ends, ladies and gentlemen. And that's it for the news today. Once again, if you're new around here, click the subscribe button. If you didn't like...
Oh yeah, sure thing. I'll click that subscribe button. People should subscribe to Shock Mouths, definitely. But like, yeah, I'm just not really buying it. I don't really think there has been any harassment. He's just using it because he's gotten tired of them taking the piss out of him. It's as simple as that could be. He's getting tired of it. That's what I think. I personally think he's just gotten tired of them taking the piss out of him, and he wants them to stop or something like that. And if there have been weirdos out there contacting his wife and all that, obviously that is bad. But still, I'm going to need to see those text messages because that is the Quartering standard, right? We're using his own standard against him, everybody. He needs to show the text messages in order for me to believe that. 100%. Show the text messages because you ask actors to show the harassment that they have received. Like, you know, when they do get harassed by toxic fandoms. Like, say, for instance, the Star Wars fandom. That is specifically something the Quartering has requested of people to do, is to send him proof of the harassment so he can say, oh, well, yeah, I guess there was harassment then. But, like, also he doesn't... But when someone does bring it up, right, that, oh, yeah, here's the harassment, he mocks them anyway. It's just like there was no winning with the Quartering at all. Like, he's just a bad faith actor, so why the fuck should we be good faith actors towards him? It's as simple as that can be. You reap what you sow. Simple as that can be. And when I say reap what you sow, I don't mean the harassment on his wife. What I mean is, you're basically saying, you basically have this standard, so therefore you should be held to the same standard. It's as simple as that could be. Put out the DMs, put out the text messages. Let's see this harassment, Quartering. Come on, water's warm. It's as simple as that can be. But yeah, like, it is very interesting how the Quartering said, like, you know, basically made these statements on Twitter and all that stuff, right? Saying like, oh, I'm gonna make your channel disappear and all that stuff, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, or if they don't stop, they're gonna be sorry, you know, and then their channel just instantly, and then the channel the next day is banned, right? It does kind of point to the quartering is the reason for that. Like, I think he even said, like, what do you call it? If we look here, in these text messages, right? What are you calling it? Where is it? Just to get rid of the videos claiming my wife, and they continue to make and I can burn it all down. I have 5 years guaranteed salary at Rumble. If they bulk, that's not on you, and I still support Kiwi Farms. Brokered the ceasefire and everyone wins. Okay. Where does it say goes to? I can't see it here, but like basically the quartering at some point did say that he could just use his connections on YouTube to get Kino Casino's clip channel taken down and all that stuff, right? It's as simple as that could be. Like, literally said that I can, like, through my connections with YouTube, I can get this person's account taken down, and then the next day his account gets taken down. It's like, you can't really blame anyone else, and you certainly can't fucking say shit like this, right? You certainly can't go and say, nobody is actually interested in the truth, so I don't know why I bother, because these psychos will just move the goalpost. But again, my updated report history, dozens of videos stating as fact, I took down a channel, which as I understand it, should be back up soon. What about your other one? Okay, here's Jeremy Hambley, and he just basically shows his report history, even though he was talking about doing it off the platform. You know, giving his channel manager a call and telling them to do something about it. So, like, I don't, like, why would you feel the need to, like, show us your report history when you were specifically talking about not doing it through the report history, but getting YouTube to do something about it themselves? That wouldn't show up in your report history at all. It's just complete dog shit. It's just such a dog shit fucking defense for this shit. So basically what we've learned here is that the quartering threatened to take action against Kino Casino, threatened to do something about it within, like, getting like a manager or something involved, and the Kino's Casino's channel got taken down. Like, it was removed and banned. It's ridiculous. Prediction. In the face of this evidence, they will just move the goalposts again. My peers who rushed to trash me for clicks will not apologize, and everyone will just move on. I expect it from some of them, but it was pretty disappointing to see from others. Have a great day. They don't engage in good faith at all. I shouldn't be replying in good faith, but this is more from my own viewers. Have an awesome weekend. Ha 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 ha. The replies are going exactly as I predicted. Show us more. We're not convinced. They were never interested in truth. Thanks for proving my point. Sorry. So you are predicting that they will hold you to your own standards. See, that's a great prediction, even though that is something that I think anyone could really tell you. If you have a specific standard that you push on to everyone, right, then you're going to have to, at some point, face the beast that you have created. Oh, okay. I was going to say, did the quartering block me? Because I have not engaged at all with the quartering at all. I have not said anything to him, so I was, like, a bit perplexed why it looked like he blocked me. Yeah, exactly. You threatened to do it through a third party, so this video does not prove anything. All he replies to that is, lol. That's all he does. It's just like, fuck me, quartering. You need to stop trying to prove you're innocent. No one is ever going to believe you now. You threatened to do something to blackmail someone to get your way. They didn't play along with your blackmail, and the threat came true. Embrace your role as the final boss. Embrace the darkness. And he's like, nah, it is tempting though. It's like, bruh, come on. Come on, dude. Let the hate flow through you, for fuck's sake. Josh, can we agree I could take their kick in YouTube, right? If I actually wanted to, they would be deplatformed outside of DLive in a week. I don't want that. I just want them to leave my family alone. I don't care how many Jeremy is a cuck videos they put out. So you literally just say, hey, I could get this guy deplatformed if I want. It would only take a single phone call, right? And then his channel gets banned. It's just like, you know, you see how that's not a great look, sir. You do see how that's not a great look. Still lives past some content, people. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not exactly an amazing look that you've been like going like, you know, you've been kind of like puffing up your ego and going like, oh yeah, and like I could literally just have one phone call away and they're gone. You know, like, and then they're gone the next day. And it's like, can you really blame anyone's reaction here? Can you really sit there and go, oh, you guys are just moving goalposts and you guys are doing this and this and this? It's like, you said that you could get their channel taken away, like, you know, like, pretty fucking easily, right? Literally, let's look at the, thing again. I could take their kick in YouTube, right? If I actually wanted to, they would be deplatformed outside of DLive in a week. So basically what you're saying is, hey, it wouldn't be hard for me to get rid of their channel altogether. It really wouldn't be that hard. And then their channel suddenly disappears from view. I'm sorry, but that's either like the biggest coincidence ever, or it just looks like, yeah, this guy contacted like somebody to get rid of the channel, right? I don't think it was a YouTube manager, because I don't think a YouTube manager would actually approve of that. But, you know, I have to say, that's pretty fishy. Smash JT says, breaking update at the quartering. The quartering claims to show proof that he did not flag Kino Casino via any of his channel's report feature. But Jeremy, you yourself told Josh that how you would get this done would be through a YouTube rep. And even stated one phone call gone. Just for your own peace of mind, I pinged one of our guys last night about the quartering drama. His estimation based on the back end is that Casino was taken down from a personal request because of all of the user reports were deemed nonsense by the automated system all week, except a privacy claim that also failed to hold up to manual review. Okay. Oh my god. Might actually have to look at Smash JT's fucking Twitter account, because that's a very interesting thing. That's very interesting. Let's have a look. We're curing cancer, right? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Josh, can we agree I could just do that? Like, I have a I'm not going to say that. YouTube rep, you know that, right? One phone call gone. So basically you're saying like, oh yeah, it would be so easy. You know, like no one else could do it better than me, right? Like it would be so easy for me just to flick this little fly away, right? Just kind of sweep him off my arm. It would be so fucking easy. It would be, It would be so easy. And then it just so happens to transpire. And now all of a sudden you want us to go, oh, guys, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It's like, you know, maybe you should, like, let's say, for instance, it wasn't actually the quartering, right? You can understand, even if it wasn't him, he still looks terrible here. He still looks terrible. But I do have to say how fucking suspicious that really looks, right? Saying in the DMs, oh yeah, it would be so easy for me just to get rid of this person. Absolutely piss easy. All I have to do is just have one phone call and they will be gone. Absolutely 100% gone. And then the next day it happens. And it's like, bruh, are you fucking serious? And now you want me to sit here and feel sorry for you? Nah, fuck off. Fuck off. Lost me for a sec? Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, like, let's have a look and see, what, I was going to watch this video, but, we've already saw it in, what are you calling it? In Mitch's video. I believe this is Mitch. But anyway, this is from a creator called, Debergerac. Debergerac? I fucking don't know how to pronounce it. Butcherer of names, everybody. But yeah, let's have a look.
Breaking news, gamers. The quartering has actually apologized for his bad behavior. He put this out a couple days ago, and I just wanted to cover it because I thought it was amazing that he actually took accountability for his actions. So on Twitter, he posted this. It says, "There have been some folks having fun at my expense. It's been going on for a year, and I never said anything about it until recently when they started inventing vile lies about my wife, my family, and well, me as well, of course. Thing I forget is, this is the internet. Can't spend all day responding to every new insane claim. That's what they want. I've been doing this long enough to know better. I should never have even implied anything about taking their channel down. That's not okay. It's cringe. It's bad. It was me getting emotional. I guess it's harder to brush things off now that I am in my mid-40s. Plain and simple, I got triggered when they moved on to insulting my wife, my marriage, and family. They state as fact some of the most vile, untrue shit imaginable."
Oh, so now I can sit here and say, oh, so you're emotional because they insulted your wife, your marriage, and your family, right? They took the piss out of all of that, right? So, from that, could we actually just sit here and say that the harassment, yeah, isn't people texting your wife or messaging her or sending her really shitty emails? It's just Kino Casino taking the piss out of your wife, marriage, and family. That's it. Fucking hell, dude. Like, that's what it seems like now.
All in an attempt to get my attention, and I made the internet's cardinal sin of getting emotional. It's a no-win situation. They make up insane shit like my friend of 10 years is having sex with my wife, and I just have to sit there and let it become lore. Let it fill my comment sections and live stream chat, because if I address it...
My friend of 10 years is having sex with my wife. Well, I believe what they were saying was that you just sit there and let it happen, like...
They just make something else more insane up.
Oh my god, what? Just hang on a minute, go back. Go back. It's a no-win situation. They make up insane shit like my friend of 10 years is having sex with my wife, and I just have to sit there and let it become lore? Oh my god, he's worried about it becoming lore. He's worried about it showing up in one of his history videos. Oh my god, I don't think anyone's really going to sit there and take that as, like, an actual thing that happened, right? I think people are going to read what they were doing, right? It was just taking the piss out of you, and that was it. Oh, so here we go. Here's the real crux of the harassment. Let it fill my comment sections and live stream chat, because if I address it, they'll just make something else up even more insane. It's just like, again, the quartering does lie, so I do feel like, you know, at this point, yeah, filling his comment sections and live stream chat. I think that's the crux of the whole situation with the Kino Casino thing. I don't believe that his wife was ever contacted at all, right? I believe it's because they made fun of his wife and him, made fun of their relationship, and that was it. And then people from their chat, right, went to his comment sections and started taking the piss out of him as well, and saying shit, and started trying to get him to get triggered and all that stuff in his live stream chat. Trying to one guy him, basically, right? I think that's what really happened. I think that's the whole truth of the harassment. I don't believe his wife actually got, harassed at all, personally. But if I'm wrong, Quartering, show me the DMs, show the emails, show the text messages. You should have those, right, buddy?
Sections in live stream chat, because if I address it, they just make something else more insane up. I have been way too open on the internet. Most everything they are memeing on is shit I've openly shared, like shitting my pants at a Walmart, etc. And that's all fine. It's just the insane lies that I thought might end at some point. Sadly, they just keep ratcheting them up, and now that I responded poorly, more folks are getting involved in cementing this garbage as fact. I've definitely done some cringe stuff worth making fun of, and I hope they make a lot of money doing it. But at the end of the day, there is room on the internet for all of us. This is the shitty part of it sometimes. Almost nothing said about me is being presented in good faith, but I just gotta let it ride and not spread out.
Are you surprised though? Are you surprised considering you're a bad faith actor yourself? You surround yourself with other bad faith actors? You're surprised that your friend group of bad faith actors would act so bad faith towards you when you get involved in drama. Oh, you would have seen that coming.
That, I apologize. Comment sections have been wild and I made it worse. Please don't bother engaging with this stuff. Everything is going to be fine, lol. I apologize for my part in making it worse for people that just want to watch the show, lol. They will see this post as yet another epic win in their twisted fantasies, but this post is for the people who actually watch the show, not for them. I am human, and, sorry to say, a pretty boring one, despite what you might hear or see on the internet. Well, now that that's cleared up and he has taken full accountability and apologized to everybody and disengaged with the drama, I'm really happy to see that. And that he definitely didn't do anything to those channels after saying that it was just emotional. He's not going to do it. It's fine now. So let's just go take a look at Kino Casino and see what they had to say about this apology.
It is not. I am not being hyperbolic when I'm saying that he was butthurt that Trump made fun of Islam.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
What's everybody, it's Birdjack with a breaking news update. Jeremy actually ended up taking down the Kino Casino Clip YouTube channel, which is my personal favorite channel. This came on the heels of him actually apologizing for all of his behavior, and that is what I was going to cover. But the fact that he actually went through, after this apology, after trying to move past his bad behavior, he ended up following through with the ban anyway. And the thing is, everybody around him made it abundantly clear that if he tried to take the channels down for ban evasion, it's not gonna fly. Like, it can't hold up because the people who he's claiming are doing the ban evading got unbanned. But the thing is, the Clip channel is run by their editor. It's not run by either of the guys. So for him to come in here and act like...
Yeah, so it's basically a loophole, right? It's a loophole. If you get banned off of YouTube, you cannot create another YouTube channel, otherwise you'll just get banned off of that one too. But there is a loophole in that. And it's something that even Keemstar has taken advantage of. And that is, like, you don't have to personally own the channel in order to appear on it, right? If you appear on the channel, like, if you appear in the content, YouTube can't take action against it. So if, like, the person owns, say, for instance, in this case, the editor owns the channel, and they're just sitting there, like, in the content itself, YouTube can't do anything about it. That's the loophole, right? Keemstar did this with Drama Alert, right? Where he was banned off of YouTube for, like, I can't remember what it was, but, like, he basically made, like, it was basically like, Keemstar does not own this channel, he is just a presenter on it, or something like that, right? And that's what got through the loophole. It's pretty much like that. If he evades the ban, give him the holy hands. Okay.
He can take them down so easily. And then to actually go through with it. Who the fuck do you think you are? This could have blown over. Like, he doesn't realize what he's done. By actually following through on this ban, he's mobilized the entire casino fandom. Every single subscriber and follower of the Kino Casino, he thought he was getting made fun of before. You go to his latest video now, and the top comments are all Kino Casino enjoyers, dunking on Quartering for following through on his shitty little threat. All of the information that has been presented in every single Kino Casino stream are clips, screenshots, videos, audio. All of this stuff is shit that Jeremy himself has put out. Anything that's about people surrounding Jeremy, such as his bull, every other figure connected to his weird behavior, it's publicly available information. He claims that these people aren't online and that they're normies, but they've been online with him since.
If I want to kind of like, you know, speak from the other side on this, right? Like, sure enough, like, the Quartering has made the threat, right, in DMs. He has made the threat that he could do something about it. Like, he could get these people removed if he really wanted to, right? Which looks really bad. But then again, like, sort of thing, it could also be that one of his random shitter fans kept, like, went through and, what do you call it? Reported it on behalf of the Quartering, right? Like, unofficially behalf of the Quartering. Like, say, for instance, what I basically mean is, a fan of the Quartering could have seen this and go, okay, I'm gonna go and report this guy's channel for ban evasion and all that stuff, and that's what ended up happening. Like, that could be a possibility. But, like, do I really believe it? Not really, because, like, the Quartering can be very petty, and the Quartering is a liar. It's as simple as that could be, so that's why I had to take everything that he said with a pinch of salt. Because he has lied before, and he has acted in bad faith towards other people before. So, why the fuck, should I give a shit about if people think, that he's, you know, false flagging people at the end of the day? I got absolutely no sympathy for the guy.
Day one. Now, I'm not saying that to say that it's okay to go after all the people around Jeremy and make fun of them, but to prove that everything Jeremy has said and done since the beginning has been nothing but a fucking lie. He's a hypocritical little loser, and this just seals it. The fact that he went out of his way to get the channel taken down after putting up an apology, trying to move past it.
The guy makes an apology for his behavior and all that stuff, but does it really make sense that he would apologize for it, right? And then go out of his way to get the person's account banned, right? That seems like, unless, like, the Quartering is playing, like, a fucking 10,000 IQ move, right? Like, where he's like, I'm going to apologize for it, but quietly take down the channel through my other means. So it looks like I'm not involved here, right? That is a possibility, I guess. You know, if I had to give credit, you know. But yeah, that just doesn't really make any sense if, like, you know, he's apologizing for his behavior on, like, a community post or something, and then the channel just gets deleted, right? Or the channel was banned, right? That really doesn't make any sense why he would do that. But then again, he could just have done it to try and, you know, say, oh, well, I said this, so I couldn't have possibly been the person who did this.
He's got to lay off the fucking drink. Like, you know, he had one of his fucking 5 shots of vodka, 4 shots of water. He got absolutely plastered and made a really shitty decision. He went full Jarbo. Never go full Jarbo. It's just a perfect fucking circle, which makes sense because he's shaped like a circle. I just didn't expect him to actually go through with this behavior.
Wow. That's like the what do you call it? That is like one of the most polite ways you could call somebody fat without directly calling them fat.
And if he's gonna try to defend it by saying they went after his wife, he went after his family, he still hasn't posted any proof of them getting harassed. No proof of death threats, no proof of videos or anything being sent to these people, the phone calls. He has done nothing to corroborate the claims justifying his terrible behavior.
Exactly, and these are things that the Quartering demands that he sees before he can call something harassment, right? He demands people actually show him proof of these things. As I said before, actors that have, you know, had roles in TV shows, like, when they're not specifically liked by the fandom, the fandom goes out and harasses them. At least that's what the story says anyway. And then when it gets publicized that they have received harassment because they are just simply playing a role in a TV show or a video game or in a film, like, people like the Quartering just go, oh, well, they didn't show any evidence, so I'm not really going to do that. He even swept, yeah, when people were fucking making racist, when people were, like, messaging, like, I think it was, like, a black actor, right? They were messaging them racist shit, right? Like, as a way to try and deter them from playing a role in a film or something like that, right? And what the Quartering said was, he looked at the message and he just goes, yeah, I don't see anything racist about that. Like, you know, he just completely swept for the person, right? Just completely swept for them. So, using his own logic, using his own standards, we're going to have to see proof of these DMs. We're going to have to see proof of these text messages and emails before we can sit here and say if, you know, anything that may have been sent was harassment at the end of the day. Quartering, I'm afraid so, buddy. Show me the proof.
43 years old. You are a fucking middle-aged man, and you are so angry and so bitter and so sad that the only possible enjoyment you can get out of life is...
Or a better way to describe the Quartering would basically be a cuck pussy who's very sensitive and just can't handle it when people take the piss out of something he's publicized himself.
Is bullying people that you think are smaller than you because they're right about what a piece of shit you are. That genuinely pisses me off.
Smaller than the Quartering? I mean, maybe in subscriber size, but apparently they had 10,000 viewers, while the Quartering was only getting 6 viewers.
You're sitting here claiming you're super successful, you've got 2 million subscribers, a thriving coffee business that's definitely not dropship, but you get made fun of by 2 random Canadians, and all of a sudden you've got to take their shit down. What a pussy. I see all the tweets of them screenshotting his post saying he's been acting a little female coded. As a female, I take offense to that. His behavior isn't female coded. His behavior is bitch coded. For you to go out there and have a full-grown 43-year-old man tantrum and take down 2 other dudes just because they're making fun of content that you have been putting out this whole time? Hello, actions. I'm consequences. Nice to meet you. You can't sit here and claim to be a free speech warrior, a libertarian conservative, and lose your shit over people making fun of content you put out because of your behavior. We know you pissed in your basement. You shit on the floor of a Walmart. You openly broadcasted your cuck fantasy about Gina Carano. You sexually harassed a pregnant married woman. There's so much shit that he's done. He tries so hard to talk tough and talk big, but as soon as somebody gets under his skin, says something that rubs him the wrong way, which is really easy to do, and does whatever he can to destroy them, not realizing how much of a blowback this is gonna have. Now, according to YouTube Help, it does say that...
I mean, like, let's be fair, though. I don't think the Quartering really gave a shit about his wife at all, yeah, because he seems to be very open to flirting with women that appear on his live streams, right? Seems very open to be flirting with them, which I'm kind of tempted now to go and watch Mikeynomore's video on the Quartering now. I'm very tempted to see the other shit that he does, like, on the platform.
You'll get an email explaining the reason for it, and you can appeal it. You have a year to submit an appeal for a channel termination. I hope that they can get this ban reversed and Kino Casino clips can go back up. Mainly because the reason of ban evasion can't hold if they're not the ones evading a ban and the channel doesn't belong to them. I'm not a lawyer, not in the United States. I am practicing in 497 other countries. However, I'm hopeful that they're gonna get this reversed. And if they're able to, holy mother of God. Quartering thought it was bad before. He thought the 6-hour videos were a problem. If it were me running Kino Casino, I would be doing a specialized Let's Bully Jer for 2 hours segment every single day without fail. It's honestly shocking that this is the behavior that he chose to go with.
I mean, personally, if I was to do that, right, I feel like I would get burnt out within the first couple of weeks, right? Be like, this is too much Quartering stuff. I need to refresh my brain with something else.
This was the choice that he made, and he didn't think for a second that this wasn't going to go back and fuck his life up. Literally anybody and everybody that he ever stood with, anything that he ever said about protecting YouTubers, trying to take care of other people's channels getting taken down, he's always been a two-faced loser. I always thought that his whole thing about...
To be honest with you, I've always thought the quartering was just kind of boring at the end of the day. I always just... like, I've always thought about this guy as just, like, the most boring commentator ever. Like, he just, like, he does nothing for me, right? Like, he seems more like, back a few years ago, he just seemed more like a smart aleck than anything else.
Protecting YouTubers and protecting freedom of speech was like the one principle he stood on. But now he's made it abundantly clear he stands for absolutely nothing. What a pathetic little manlet. Imagine being that fat and still having thin skin. I just had to talk about it because I am honestly flabbergasted.
I mean, yeah, like, fatter people often are softer, right? They often are softer.
That this was the decision he went with, that this was the choice he made. He genuinely thought that this was the right call. Jeremy has unleashed the horde, and I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what happens next. I will keep you guys posted as we get more information, but for now, that's where we'll leave it off. Jeremy, genuinely, fuck you. You stupid, hypocritical bitch. Anyways, that's all for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Fuck you, Jeremy.
Alright, fuck it. Let's watch the quartering video on Mikeynomore's channel.
There's a saying that...
Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Alright. If it would let me, thank you. Let's update the live streams, what are you calling it? Let's update the live streams title. Yeah, let's there we go. There we go. Alright. That's what we're going to do now. We're going to go and watch Mikeynomore's video on the quartering. Because I've been told this is a very good breakdown of his history on the platform. So let's see, shall we?
If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But what if what you love is reading other people's articles in a camera for 10 minutes at a time, e-begging from your audience, and starting businesses that light up like the Notre Dame Cathedral the second you have to actually run them? Can you really still call what you're doing work at that point? Well, you would if your name was Jeremy Hambly, aka The Quartering. You know, the word grifter gets thrown around a lot these days. It's an overused catch-all term for anyone with a donation link or just a bad opinion. But we need to get back to the roots of the word, the classic definition. A con artist, a shyster, someone who uses deceit to swindle. And if the quartering isn't a grifter, none of these other internet hustlers are either. Thing is, the quarter is not even really a hustler. He's a prolific slot manufacturer who's gotten out of almost every financial jam, essentially by relying on his fans to bail him out the moment he got confronted with a problem, vomiting out 5 to 6 videos a day couldn't solve. If there's one thing I've learned about Jeremy Hambly while making this video, it's that when the times get tough, the quartering gets to begging. Jeremy Hambly has always been two things: a neckbeard and obsessed with becoming an entrepreneur. Being a man of industry, a guy who owned his own business and didn't have to answer to anybody, has been an admittedly admirable long-time trait of Jeremy's, and he's been at it for over 2 decades. Probably his oldest internet capitalist venture was his business, Be Your Own IT, back in 2008.
How did you
I've been YouTubing for almost 20 years. Like, my very first channel, it still exists. It's called Be Your Own IT. And if you go back and look at like the oldest video, I'm I'm there.
Be Your Own IT was a tech YouTube channel and website essentially dedicated to scamming boomers who couldn't use Google or know how to browse tech forums into paying Jeremy to give them the most basic tech advice in the world. There were already YouTube channels back in the early aughts that offered essentially the same value of info that Jeremy was trying to dupe people into paying for. Unsurprisingly, the business struggled, and it led Jeremy to making a video in 2008 that would completely foreshadow his future career of entrepreneurship. I ain't got the video though. It's gone. Jeremy managed to get rid of it along with almost any other evidence that Be Your Own IT was a thing that he was once affiliated with. This was a smart move on Jeremy's part because a lot of those videos did not age well for him, including the video I'm talking about, which Jeremy literally titled "A Sad, Pathetic Cry for Help from Me."
Oh my god, really? Fuck me, that just reminds me of the Dark Viper. Why must my life suffer? Why must my life suffer so much without anyone caring for so long? So wait a minute, your business was struggling, so you made a cry for help on YouTube. Bro, you have to be really sad to go to that level, right? You would have to be really sad to go to that level.
Now, fortunately, while we don't have the video, the transcript did manage to survive. And to summarize, the video was basically a precursor to every "I need your help, my channel is under attack" video that Jeremy has ever made. Double speaking about how the channel and blog are doing great, while also admitting he only makes 25 cents off the site every 2 days.
I mean, hell, like, you know, making that many, my channel is under attack videos, I feel like that's just for views, right? Oh, I'm not getting as many views as I used to. Best make a video where my channel is under attack again.
Talking about how the business barely making any money is fine because it's all about helping people with his 10 years of computer repair experience anyway. He says this while also pleading for people to share the video, share the blog, make videos about his videos and his blogs, and maybe doing a response for a response, share for a share thing that YouTubers back in the early days liked to do. Basically, his business was doing bad and Jeremy begged for his YouTube audience to come to his rescue. Yeah, bro's
exactly.
been doing that for going on 18 years. He might actually be one of the only guys on the internet who's been crying to their audience for support longer than Darkside Phil.
No
Jeremy
way.
Hambley, when it
Wait, so he's been begging for help from his audience longer than the person who is known for begging to their audience for money. Oh, bro, that's crazy. That's amazing, that is. Again, you would have to be kind of sad to do that. Guys, I can't afford rent today. I can't afford my rent this month. Could you please donate to me? It literally is like, it's like that speedrunner, like Cosmo, right? That had a transition to Narcissa Wright, right? And they had like a really bad spiral. And it got to the point where they were literally holding a fucking sign on their live stream begging for money, like, we'll do something for money, like a literal sign that said, like, we'll do this for money. Like, Jesus, man, like, fuck me, maybe it's time you go out and get yourself a job, buddy.
comes to being a strong, independent businessman is soft as baby shit and quick to resort to a bailout from his community whenever he can. Also, the whole thing about just wanting to help people with his computer repair skills and not caring that Be Your Own IT barely made any money was a lie. Because as soon as he was able to, Jeremy sold that bitch to somebody else and never engaged in any further computer repair content again.
What I did was I started selling these little how to repair your own computer kits. And then some VC guy bought that channel from me. And I think I got $160,000.
Not only because it didn't make him that much money in competition.
$160,000.
So notice who he's kind of like surrounded with, right? Oh, Nerdrotic, grifter. Geeks and Gamers, grifter. Heel versus Babyface, grifter. This guy, Black Garrett, don't know who the fuck he is. Ryan Kennel, complete grifter. Like, these people he surrounds himself with, bad faith actors is what you would probably call them, right? you would most likely call these people bad faith actors who don't actually give out any sort of like real criticism. They just basically shit on whatever like Disney or whatever like game company makes and all that stuff because it's popular to hate on this new thing, right? So it's very interesting how when the Quartering is having drama with Kino Casino, right? He immediately starts whining about how all of his like so-called friends, right, have just turned on him for the content. It's just like surely you would have seen this coming, right? When you surround yourself with bad faith actors. It's as simple as that could be.
Not only because it didn't make him that much money, and competition in the online IT advice scene was really starting to heat up around 2011 when he sold it, but because, just like with Review Tech USA, Jeremy's tech know-it-all was actually quite limited. Despite having over a decade's worth of computer repair experience, Jeremy can't even repair his own laptops. He has to send them to an actual expert instead. Now, even though his tech era was actually quite, because just like with Review Tech USA, Jeremy's tech know-it-all was actually quite limited. Despite having over a decade's worth of computer repair experience, Jeremy can't even repair his own laptops.
So you market yourself as an expert on this in this field, and yet something that should be very fucking like knowledgeable to you that you should be able to do yourself because you have all the experience of doing the said job, and yet you fail and need to go and get somebody else to do it for you. Like, bro.
He has to send them to an actual expert instead. Now, even though his tech era was over, Jeremy wouldn't stop making YouTube content after Be Your Own IT. All throughout the early 10s, Jeremy would start multiple channels that were more or less just him trying to find a way to turn his various consumerist hobbies into YouTube hustles. You had RC Nightmare, where Jeremy would show off and play with various radio control toys, a strong obsession of his to this day. And this wasn't the only RC channel he had, just the first and biggest one. He'd make a bunch of offshoots: RC Flight School, RC Skipper, RC Spotlight, Team RCN, and Friends of RC. Jeremy really wanted to be a popular RC YouTuber. He also made Clawstruck, a channel dedicated to claw machines.
You know, and then I started a channel about RC cars, and I sold that. And then claw machines.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Claw machine.
The claw machines one was my favorite.
Oh
it's so
my
sad
god, no fucking way. Like, fucking me. Oh yeah, that's my favorite one, guys. Watching you play a claw game. I'm on the edge of my seat while watching that shit. Like, like, bro, like, you can just tell Ryan Kinel is just a complete fucking grifter. He doesn't fucking mean anything that he's saying, and he does it with no shame as well. I mean, I've got to admire him. I've got to admire his craft right there. I'm on the edge of my seat watching this guy play a claw game in a fucking arcade.
that died.
But out of all of these hobby channels, the one Jeremy would go on to get the most mileage out of.
I really hope he gets one of those prizes, guys. Oh my god.
Was one he started in 2012 called Unsleeved Media.
What's up, guys? Jeremy and Brandon here from MTG headquarters. That's short for Magic the Gathering.
How's it going?
Our hands.
Unsleeved Media, also known as MTG Headquarters, was, as both names suggest, a channel dedicated to Magic the Gathering, a children's trading card game that has gradually evolved into a middle-aged men's trading card game. Jeremy's channel didn't stand out that much. There were plenty of MTG channels out there, and he would do about what most of them did: unboxing videos, talking about new sets, talking about tournaments, the latest meta, rule changes, the occasional giveaway, etc., etc., about what you expect. Still, Jeremy grinded it out and built a decent following over the years, with Unsleeved Media eventually hitting 75,000 subs by 2015.
Well,
Nice.
we got there. or rather, we're almost there, to the 75,000 subscriber celebration, and I can't thank you guys enough.
Jeremy is noticeably more chill in these videos. Unsleeved Media, like all of his other hobby channels, revolved around him doing things he genuinely enjoyed. And while making money was always a goal, it wasn't the be-all, end-all reason for why Jeremy made content back in the day. Until it was. See, around 2015, Jeremy would try to turn his Unsleeved Media side hustle into an actual business. Not just through Patreon either. Nah, he was going to launch a mobile app called Game Finder that he had ambitions to turn into a cornerstone for players in the MTG community. How did he manage to get the money to develop it? By crowdfunding it to a tune of about $30,000. The purpose was simple: create a way for players to be able to find other players to play Magic with. Basically Tinder or Grindr, but for middle-aged men playing a children's card game.
Fuck me,
Very
dude.
straightforward idea. And hey, it blew up. Like a boat full of fentanyl en route for the United States leaving the Venezuelan coast, I mean. It flopped, basically. And why it flopped was pretty simple. Users really weren't fans of how the app handled location data and personal info. There were still bugs because the app's maintenance was ass. It just didn't get any traction. Wasn't a whole lot of reason to use it as opposed to Facebook or Discord, which launched the same year as Game Finder did. You would think that a guy with over a decade of tech experience would have considered these things before launching the app and wasting everyone's money, but nah. Jeremy's first crowdfunded business was basically dead on arrival. It looked like Jeremy was going to be stuck being an eternal hobbyist tuber forever. But there had been a little culture war about ethics in games journalism going on since 2014. Now, Jeremy wouldn't get involved in Gamergate himself, but ripple effects from it, the veterans of it, and the seeds of culture war it would spread across the web would greatly impact Jeremy's future career. It was in 2017 that he would throw himself in his first culture war scuffle. And I want you to pay attention, because 2017 is where the Hambly Ministry of Truth's narrative crafting really starts to kick in. It all started in June of 2017 when Jeremy got blacklisted by Wizards of the Coast.
It's no secret to those of you who have followed me for a long time that I am blacklisted. Both officially, I mean, basically as officially as they can do it. I can still play in sanctioned events currently. I'm probably one offensive joke away from getting my DCI taken. There was a brief period of time where I was somebody that they would send free product to, and I'd gotten to the point where they would even let me do spoilers occasionally. I had done a few spoilers for them.
They decided they were done with this fool and wouldn't send him any more promotional material. This was a very big deal to Jeremy because, again, he'd been trying and failing to turn his internet shit into a career for years, and Unsleeved Media had been the closest he'd ever come. Now, you're no doubt wondering why Jeremy was abruptly blacklisted by Wizards of the Coast. The story that Jeremy tells is that earlier that June, when the transgender bathroom debate shit was a big topic of discussion in the news for some reason, Jeremy, in reference to it, just made a little joke about how planeswalkers wouldn't need bathrooms because they could just piss into the ether.
It all started with a series of tweets, I think. This is how I remember it. This is like a year ago. LSV retweeted Gabby, and they were basically whining about bad comments. So I chime in by saying, hey, comments are just that. Internet comments are even less important. Let's not be so thin-skinned. Later, the next day, I believe, this was like right around when the Charlotte bathroom thing was going on about trans people not having trans bathrooms or something like that. In their opinion, in a lot of people's opinions, I make a transphobic joke by saying, another content creator responds and says, I identify as a planeswalker and demand my own bathroom. A clear joke. So I replied, send your urine into the aether.
According to Jeremy, this innocuous joke was taken very serial by Wizards of the Coast, who had been bitten by the progressive bug, so they immediately put him on their shit list from this moment forward. That's the story Jeremy tells. It's not true. The actual reason Jeremy got blacklisted by Wizards of the Coast...
That's a big fucking shocker. Oh yeah, the story that Jeremy's telling here isn't true. It's a pretty big fucking shocking thing. I thought this guy was the arbiter of everything honest.
was because he had been constantly starting shit with other members of the community all year long. See, there are two wolves inside of Jeremy Hambley. One is all the coast was because he had been constantly starting shit with other members of the community all year long.
Oh my fucking god. Are you fucking serious, dude? This guy is such a shit-eating fucking pussy. So he was basically starting shit with other members of the community that the company also supports, and he still wants to get, and he still expects them to basically send him free stuff. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, you want to start an internal war with the community and just expect that the company is going to choose you over the numerous other creators that they also, like, work with. Are you fucking kidding me?
See, there are two wolves inside of Jeremy Hambley. One is a greedy, attention-seeking, jaundice-filled fat nigga. The other wolf is also all of those things, but he also has a drinking problem, too. And because he has a drinking problem, he's worse at hiding all those nasty traits the first wolf inside of Jeremy keeps just barely under the...
I just have to say, I love Mikey's commentary, right? How it's just... like laced with his own like personality and all that stuff. You hardly see it's really fun to see one of these videos again, just not afraid to say what he fucking wants to say. He doesn't have to censor his words. He's just doing it for the love of the game, and that's really great to see, and it's really entertaining to see as well, right? He will just simply say whatever the fuck he wants. And that's fun. That is so fun to listen to. And it does come across as very humorous as well.
Surface. A lot of you are probably familiar with Jeremy's Twitter addiction. Boy's got one of the nastiest cases of Twitter fingers I've ever seen. Shit's terminal. And he also has a bad habit of saying things he wouldn't say otherwise, especially when he starts pulling up. Combine this with the fact that Jeremy has been paying attention to a lot of the goings-on in the anti-SJW realms of YouTube and social media at this point, and that he was starting to look for his own SJW dragons to slay, and you end up with a series of tweets where he's constantly squatting on other members of the community, like Anthony from the Manosaurus and Kate Donnelly from Hipsters of the Coast, bragging when they eventually block him for constantly tagging them just to insult them, all while reusing Kekistan and other 4chan memes he just copied from the other anti-SJW posters he was following. He also made tweets like these, posting pictures of his guns while mentioning the Milwaukee protest at the same time. Now some of you would say, well Mikey, it's not a crime. So long as he wasn't threatening anyone with his firearms or threatening to bring them to an event, it really wasn't the rest of the community's business. I agree, but it's really not a good look to make those types of tweets when you're already building a big reputation for being an abrasive alcoholic asshole. So no, Jeremy wasn't just a good boy who wasn't doing nothing but making a couple jokes at a few SJW's expense. He had gradually started to become a pariah because he couldn't behave himself. The Game Finder failure where he basically said 30K
it's just
from
like,
other...
what do you call it? Like, the company wants to work with, like, super positive YouTubers and all that stuff, right? And any sort of, like, it was the same thing with, like, Star Wars Theory. As soon as Star Wars Theory was being very negative towards Lucasfilms and Disney, they just dropped him, basically. It's as simple as that can be. If you can't behave yourself, they're just going to drop you and blacklist you. That's as simple as that can be. It's a fucking business. What do you expect? They're not really going to want to associate with a super negative fucking person who's constantly starting shit with people that they also support. Like, it's just not good for business, dude.
Magic players on fire didn't help his rep either. But the most notorious example of Jeremy just being a cunt was a video he made called Playset of Beta White Knights Prevent Rape of MTG Cosplayer at C Sprinkle Run. In this video, Jeremy would rant about how Magic the Gathering cosplayer Christine Sprinkle didn't like a certain horned up comment she received.
Okay, so it was drawn to my attention, or brought to my attention, that there was like literal rape happening in the Magic the Gathering community. Serial virtue signaler and crying for Patreon dollars cosplayer See Sprinkle Run posted yesterday, allow messages to my Facebook page again. Question my life choices immediately. Hey, I mean, if a guy tells me that he came and looked at my pictures and it gave him an erection, like, I'm like, sweet, you know? I appreciate giving you boners.
Jeremy was furious about this.
I mean, I would have just said, hey, I'm flattered, but I don't swing that way, right? I'm not like...
And it gave him an erection, like, I'm like, sweet, you know?
Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, you got an erection by just looking at my profile picture? Oh, sweet, mate. Fucking right on. Like, I would be like that. I'd be like, hey, I'm flattered, but, you know, I just don't swing that way. I don't know, maybe January me is actually bisexual, right?
I appreciate giving you boners.
Jeremy was furious about this. Why? Well, for one, Jeremy had a weird vendetta against female Magic cosplayers in general, but Christine especially triggered him because of how much love she got from the community compared to him.
Let's see what the Magic the Gathering community... 107 likes, which is a lot for a Magic YouTuber or Magic personality.
They literally called her the godmother of Magic cosplay. She even got a video on the official Magic the Gathering channel dedicated to her. This wasn't some random e-thought trying to grift off nerds from a community she wasn't part of. She had been attending tournaments and engaging with the community for years. But Jeremy could see the thought that everybody else was blind to. What really pissed him off were the dudes white knighting for her in the comments.
Tim Wright. Jeez,
No way.
It's not like there are any point.
How dare you white knight for this woman? Only I can white knight for her.
Online for cosplay perving. Why can't they leave the pros alone? Obviously, Sprinkle is a pro cosplayer. You know she's a professional cosplayer by the fact that she has to solicit Patreon dollars and then cry in her Patreon video to get loser beta cucks to give her money.
Oh, how dare she have a Patreon? How dare she get money? And that's kind of rich coming from the guy who, like, started a business. The business was starting to go under, and then he made a cry for help on his own fucking channel. That's really rich coming from you, buddy.
Now, even back then, it was really rich for Jeremy to poke at somebody else for soliciting Patreon bucks and crying to their audience for money because he had literally done the same thing a year earlier.
4 years ago, on February 2nd, 2012, I uploaded my first MTG video on YouTube. Now, 4 years later, more than 4 years later, and 820 more videos, I'm still here, producing content with the same dream of being able to do this as at least a part-time job. For the past year, I've been running myself ragged, trying to run a business as well as YouTube full-time. And while it's been worth every long night, it's unlikely I can continue this pace much longer. I'm just so tired all the time. Now, I wish I'd done a lot of things differently. I wish I was friendlier with other Magic YouTube channels. I wish YouTube ad revenue wasn't less now than it was a year ago. Now, you may have heard of me talk about my Patreon for several months now. The truth is, the support I'm receiving on my Patreon is literally the only reason I can spend the amount of time I do now on these YouTube videos. I feel like we've achieved adequate corporate sponsorship. In fact, I would say I'm probably spending too much time on sponsored type videos. It's a necessary evil as things are now to help fund all the awesome things that I want to do.
Like, bro, imagine getting, like, what do you call it? Imagine getting members on your Patreon, right? And calling the act of your fans donating you money a necessary evil. I guess it's like to kind of try and be a bit consistent with, like, his standard of, like, you know, oh, it's bad to you know, like, it's bad to ask for money and all that stuff, right? but a necessary evil. It's just like, how is it even evil to begin with if your fans give you money? Who fucking cares? Like,
even $1 or $2 goes so much further than YouTube ad revenue ever could.
He was just green with envy here. My favorite part was when he started going through Christine's cosplay pictures and showing how much of a thirsty gooner he was by admitting that her PG safe for work ass cosplays made him stupid horny.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sprinkle. Let's look at your cosplay, your art, where some poor 14-year-old kid was unfortunately made an erection comment about you, and fuck him for being such a degenerate. I mean, what is sexual about this? Nothing, right? Oh no, totally nothing sexual about this. Oh yeah, here you go, Sprinkle. Another totally non-sexual picture where the Pokeball happens to be right on your fucking bush. Oh, here you go, wearing basically a bra. Yep, nope, nothing hot about that. Here we go again, more. Basically 75% nude, nothing sexual there. Nothing sexual at all about this Chandra.
yeah, sure enough.
Like, nothing.
Sure enough, it is provocative. I mean, what do you fucking expect at that point? Like, you know, stuff like sex sells, right? So obviously, like, oh no, guys, I would never do that. Sorry, if you're just going to just be a cosplayer, yeah, sure, like, some people are cosplayers who don't be provocative with their art and all that stuff, yeah, sure. And they're very, like, successful people, but unfortunately, right, that isn't always the case. Like, there are some people who don't do provocative cosplay art, right? And they're very successful people, but unfortunately, it's not a majority of people, right? What is more like what will sell more is cosplay in a provocative way, right? I mean, like, it's like that for any sort of business, right?
Nothing sexual at all. Oh yeah, look at a bodysuit. Yeah, I'm not gonna sexualize you. I mean, fuck me if I'm gonna say that I wish there was a little slot down here, you know, for me to, you know, for us to pleasure each other.
Maybe should have rubbed one out before you made this video, Jeremy. Anyway, this video would end up getting deleted a short time later, but it quickly gained infamy and further bruised Jeremy's already black and blue reputation in the community. What with all the doo-doo flinging he liked to do, and also the whole game finder flop that completely wasted a lot of people's money. There were 3 reasons why Jeremy made this video. Envy that Christine Sprinkle made more on Patreon and was more popular than him, despite not being an elite player, or in Jeremy's eyes, not putting as much work into her content as he did, which has literally always been slop. 2, Jeremy, despite being a married man, has always had a pattern of weird interactions with women on the internet for years, especially with women he obviously finds attractive. And 3, the alcohol was just making Jeremy act unwise. So yeah, all of this were the actual reasons Jeremy got blackballed. Wizards of the Coast wasn't...
I mean, like, I don't think we can blame this all on alcohol, buddy. I don't think we can blame this all on the alcohol. I think this is just how he naturally is. This is just him in his own habitat.
Expecting the netbeards they gave promo material to be the most professional guys around. But they at least expected them to not chimp out at other people in the community regularly, or make videos called Beta White Knights Prevent Rape of MTG Cosplayer, where they literally added the Twitter handle of the cosplayer whose figurative rape they were talking about. Eventually, Christine announced her retirement that November so she could focus on med school instead. She was hanging up the jersey, and she explicitly named Jeremy as the reason for why she got sick of it all and left. His obnoxiousness and drunken tirades were just too much that not even the Patreon bucks made it worth the hassle anymore. Now, was Christine being a bit histrionic here? Of course she was, but the general sentiment was shared among a lot of other people, and her abrupt departure caused a real stir. Jeremy would respond by saying he hadn't harassed anyone, which is someone who doesn't think just sending mean words to other people over the internet automatically counts as harassing them. I would feel he would have been in the right to say, had he also not tried to play victim and say that he was the one actually getting harassed.
Are you fucking kidding me? Someone mentions him once. Oh, that's harassment. And then him making numerous videos and streams about one person. Oh, yeah, well, I don't really see that as harassment, guys, you know, like, I just say that it's just like broadcasting the news, right?
This is the type of video I would normally do on the quartering channel, but I'm going to put it here on Unsleeved Media because I'm not going anywhere. I'm currently under basically a full-scale assault.
Buddy, I don't think anybody wants you to go anywhere. Let's be fucking real about this. You seem to be fucking Kino content, no pun intended.
From people who have been misled or have been waiting for a moment to try and, quote, get rid of me. So yesterday or the day before, well-known grifter and cosplayer Sprinkle decided to tweet out...
Sorry, grifter? What do you mean grifter? What the fuck is she grifting? What is she grifting? Oh, yeah, she's grifting being a cosplayer by, what, cosplaying? This guy is sub 40 IQ.
That she was quitting Magic. Then we see literally every major creator out there completely unself-aware, talking about me.
Bro, that's like the projection of a fucking mom. Completely unself-aware. I mean, why know somebody like that? Okay.
Being some kind of serial harasser because I made a video 6 months ago and one tweet like 2 months ago saying I didn't care that she was going to be at a GP or something. You are sicking a hate mob on me. You know that's what you're doing, and you're trying to play the victim while doing it.
So you commenting about provocative cosplayers, right? And saying it's really bad, guys. We shouldn't like this, you know, like this is really bad. And saying how like there are children in the fucking comments of this thing when you didn't even provide proof of that as well. Like he made the mention of a 14-year-old doing stuff in the fucking comment sections. I mean, we know someone like that. Okay, no worries, man. Like, surely you are the one, right, trying to sick a hate mob onto her, right? Surely. Surely, right? Surely you are the one, like, putting the hate mob onto her by, you know, like, going after her for what seems like just basically being provocative on the internet. And that's it. Making shit up about a fucking 14-year-old. What, like, unless there was actually anything substantive about that, right? It's like, Jesus. And also at the same time, yeah, even if that was true, yeah, she's not in control of other people, okay? She just posts a picture, and that's it. Like, you know.
People are so disconnected from reality. They legitimately think they're not doing exactly...
Professional conspiracy theorist tells everyone that they are disconnected from reality. Okay, buddy.
Exactly what they're accusing me of doing.
When it happens to somebody else, it's just a bit of banter and trolling. When it happens to him, it's genuine harassment. Sure, okay, bro. Again, this wasn't Jeremy.
I mean, it sounds kind of like Dark Viper, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, you know, like, when I do it, yeah, it's perfectly fine. When I make drama content, perfectly acceptable. But these people who are actual drama channels, who are coming after me? Oh no, they're evil, guys. Don't believe anything they say.
He acting bizarrely out of character. It was an easily observable pattern of behavior. Of him asking for money from the community, then wasting it on a terribly executed business scheme, then starting drama that had nothing to do with Magic itself with other people in the community, and now there were members of the community that people actually liked that were saying they were leaving because Jeremy wouldn't stop painting the walls with feces. The permaban that Jeremy received that December from all sanctioned Magic events might have been harsh, but it was after a year of him basically antagonizing and pissing off numerous influential people in the community and also just making a general ass out of himself. The ban didn't prevent him from going to non-official events or visiting card shops or anything like that. but it did essentially mean that any chance of Jeremy's Magic the Gathering channel ever becoming anything more than a hobby after 5 years of making hundreds of videos was basically dead in the water. It was the end of unsleeved media. But it wasn't the end for Jeremy himself though. Nah, this was just the beginning, because earlier that year, during the summer, Jeremy had rebranded his other Magic the Gathering YouTube channel to just The Quartering.
Definitely an interesting day for me. So as you know,
so
I'm
this
kind of
is
going
the
through a
bad.
transition on my main channel, which is specifically about Magic the Gathering. And my second channel, which is now currently called Unsleeved After Dark because it's Unsleeved Media is my main channel, but I'm going to change it. I think I'm changing it to The Quartering this weekend.
Originally, The Quartering was going to be the sideshow channel where Jeremy would get to vent about things that either had little to do or nothing to do with Magic the Gathering. But this channel would go on to be his most successful YouTube endeavor by far, while also somehow getting him in way more internet drama. The Quartering had already started to become Jeremy's main priority even before his MTG ban. By late 2017, he could already tell how the winds were blowing. So he started maneuvering appropriately, and I gotta hand it to him. He made some smart moves, broadening the topics he talked about from just Magic to general geek culture, the news, and politics, encouraging his audience on his Unsleeved Media channel to migrate to The Quartering, and monetizing his channel early by shilling Patreon, Subscribestar, and securing several sponsorship deals, keeping those income streams healthy and diverse from the jump. The early growth of the Quartering channel was a rare example of him putting that masters in internet marketing of his to good use. Granted, Jeremy had made like 10 other fucking YouTube channels at this point, so really you could just say it was the law of averages finally working out in his favor. Another move that the Quartering made in late 2017 and early 2018 that would really affect the trajectory of his career going forward was getting associated with several anti-SJW YouTubers in their communities, like Nerdrotic and Friday Night Tights, Ethan Van Sciver and Comet Skate, and Sargon of Akkad and the Skeptics.
Oh, Sargon of
aka
Akkad.
Carl Benjamin's clique would be one Quartering would become especially tight with. And I mean, he would become really tight with Sargon.
Coach Redpill asked me, keep sucking on Sargon's dick, boy. V says that Sargon's cum tastes awfully good. So does it. And sure enough, I found a little website
Oh no.
where I could purchase
So do it.
Sargon of Akkad semen. Probably my invoice here. Let's see. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Little letterhead. Comes in a nice little vial. This is a lot.
Oh,
Here
bro.
goes nothing.
Oh no! Why? Is it creamy? Is it salty?
I
Quartering?
don't know.
Hambly was really gonna need these connections because he was burning through
Oh,
what
I can't believe it. And I didn't even think he was gonna say that. Like, and it's like you just fucking replied to me. I can't believe that just happened. That's such a clippable moment, isn't it?
ever was left of the bridge between him and the Magic community to the ground with his Scorched Earth campaign against Wizards of the Coast, specifically against their judges. Jeremy's a guy who definitely holds a grudge, and he was left seething after they banned him. Not only because they cut him out of his Magic the Gathering tuber ambitions, but they locked bro out of his Magic the Gathering online account too.
But what I wanted to talk about was really digital goods, specifically Magic the Gathering Online, because, as you might know, my collection was stolen by Wizards of the Coast.
All that money he spent on boosters lost to the Shadow Realm forever. Honestly, being locked out of playing a gacha game, which Magic the Gathering Online and Arena 1000% are, will always be a blessing in disguise. But for Quartering, it was just one of the many heinous offenses committed against him by Wizards of the Coast. But Jeremy was about to get his get back by exposing Wizards of the Coast for harboring pedophiles. It had been brought to Jeremy's attention that Wizards of the Coast Coast had been lacking when it came to their background checks, and there was now a cabal of pedos working for him. Quartering went to gather in a dossier of sorts of this Diddy the Gathering he had found out about and dropped it all on their heads. And how many did he find? One.
We start with Ross.
So wait a minute.
Praž.
One person. Oh, there's a real cabal happening here, guys. There's a cabal of pedos in this corporation. Okay, so how many are we talking about quartering? Well, I found someone. Wait, someone? So there's only one person that you found. Oh, such a cabal, mate. Such a fucking cabal.
Znir.
There was literally one guy, Ross Prasner, who was convicted of distributing CP in 2014, but continued being an active judge because Wizards failed to do a proper background check on him. He was the only one of the subhumans Jeremy would list who continued affiliating with Magic tournaments after they were caught. It's not that these guys didn't do what they did, it's that they didn't actually judge at Magic tournaments in any official capacity after they did what they did. They just had their names on some list that had yet to remove them, and Jeremy acted like they were still working with Wizards anyway. Now, a lot of you would go, well, Mikey, you gotta give Jeremy some credit. Just exposing one pedo makes this short crusade of his worth it. And I would agree with that. However, acting like Magic had a cabal of pedos running the show was the quartering being extra. Even after his in-depth grudge-fueled investigation, he only found the one guy.
Bro, I'm surprised he didn't try a, what do you call it? Who are you gonna choose? Wizards of the Gathering, me or the pedophiles? Like...
who slipped through the cracks. And I'm sorry, but literally every institution of a certain size occasionally has sexual deviants pop up in them. Also, this was completely performative outrage from Jeremy to get back at Wizards of the Coast for banning him and stealing his gotcha pools.
Yeah,
on Magic the Gathering Online.
I think it's pretty obvious why he was going after them. It wasn't out of some sort of actual concern. It was because, oh yeah, they what do you call it? They blacklisted him. That's all it is.
He did not actually care. I know he didn't, because when he got to one of the dudes in the video, Luke Flora, who was arrested for sleeping with a student of his, he said this.
Now, this next person is a little... I was unsure about putting this person on there, but the point of the matter is this person is technically a convicted of a sex act. He now works for Star City Games. He's a former teacher, imagine my shock, convicted of sex with a student, 6 counts, felony counts of sex with a student. He is the in-store programs manager at Star City Games, as far as I can tell. Now, the reason this one's a little dicier, I mean, is because the student was 17, but that really, you can't make any excuses for that.
There's also this clip, one of the only remaining remnants of Jeremy's Be Your Own IT videos, where he offered people with peculiar material on their PCs some advice.
It's more of a public service announcement than anything else. At the office this week, we had a situation where one of the techs came across some pictures on a customer's computer that were of the child pornography variety. I don't really know if there's any tack way to put that, but the customer was reported and subsequently arrested, I believe, as last that I heard. So if you have things that you don't want computer techs to see, you should delete them. Maybe change the folder.
What are we doing, quartering? Literally giving advice. Hey, if you got CP on your computer and you don't want anyone to see that, and you don't want these tech people to see it, oh yeah, best go ahead and delete that shit. What the fuck are we on about? Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Literally giving fucking advice to pedos. Oh,
folder name when you take it in if you can, or I'm not condoning it. I don't think it's necessarily right. I believe it's an invasion of privacy. So if you have these sorts of things, remember that computer techs do look at other things on your computer. People look around on it, and you should make it real easy for people to find things.
And now you understand why all those be your own IT videos are gone. Wizards of the Coast would implement a stronger background checks policy, but they had no real way of implementing it at a wide scale, so it really didn't change anything. It was just an announcement they made for optics' sake. But whatever, a W is a W, and we gotta give this W to the Quartering. In his eyes and in the eyes of his fans, he has slayed his dragon. He also got the opportunity to reopen his Magic the Gathering online account so he could sell his collection there and get some money back, which, let's be real, is probably what he cared about way more than exposing some pedophiles. Now, with all this Magic the Gathering community bullshit out of the way, he could give most of his attention to what would be his main channel going onward, the Quartering. And by mid-2018, the Quartering had mastered his new main channel's formula. Daily uploads of topical content that was well researched and that he peppered with his own in-depth commentary. He recorded himself reading the news. He would find a handful of news stories and read them on camera slowly, cause the motherfucker could barely read despite wearing glasses and having a master's degree. And this would be the Quartering's content format for the better part of the next decade. It was nothing revolutionary or even particularly hard to do, hence why people like Review Tech USA have also made careers out of it. What Jeremy did have over everyone else though was his relentless output. This man is a slop factory, filling your subscription and recommended feeds with slop on top of slop on top of slop. Just a one-man chum bucket. The Quartering isn't just a slop tuber, he's a grand master of the art of slop tubing. This content mass production model of his would rack up tens of millions of views, tons of subs, and a massive bag over the years. But just like with Review Tech USA, getting paid to read articles other people wrote for a living wasn't enough. No, he had to get in some YouTube drama as well. And he would choose literally the worst people to throw digital hands with. Dudes from the sector and internet blood sports community.
Oh, here we go.
Now initially, the little spats he got into, like the one with the late and great Gonzalo Lira, aka Coach Red Pill, didn't really go anywhere. Quartering by this point was bigger than the majority of guys in both the skeptic community and the internet blood sports scene, and he had nothing to gain and no real reason to go to war with any of them. That was until Sargon and the sector started feuding. See, around 2017 to 2018, cracks had begun to form in anti-SJW spaces, especially in and around the skeptic sphere. I'm not gonna regale you guys with the whole history of the skeptic community. That's a video for another day. But things were starting to
I think I heard from I think I saw this on Beckett's clip channel, right? Where he was going over like some of Sargon of Akkad's like things, like Sargon of Akkad, like when he went to America, right? And he was like appearing on more American YouTuber channels and all that stuff, right? He got absolutely fucking destroyed. So I think that's what this whole thing is about.
Will come 2018, at least in the sense that the OG format was starting to stagnate a little bit. Also, the battles between guys from the dissident right and certain skeptics like Kraut and T and Sargon was starting to overtake the community as a whole. Sargon's cult of personality in general was starting to overtake the community as a whole. There was a Godfather meme about Don Sargon ruling the skeptic sphere like a Machiavellian tyrant. And there was a bit of truth to it. He would also just start casually lying about certain things around this time. Like the incident that would get Jeremy in his first battle with Mr. Medicare, where Sargon lied about something Andy Worski, fellow skeptic at the time, had said. Worski, who wasn't a fan of having his name dragged through the internet streets, would expose some private details to prove Sargon was talking out the side of his mouth and essentially put him on the spot. In Quartering, one of the top capos and glazers of Don Sargon would call Worski out for daring to defend himself and not just take it. This led to him confronting both Worski.
Wait, isn't Worski one of the people on or wasn't he one of the people on Kino Casino? Didn't I remember that? Like that was one of the things that was in like Shockmouth's video. that Warski is like a co-host or something like that. I can't remember, but that would be very interesting if these two have had prior beefs before this false flagging drama.
And Medicare on Takasa's Kumite in February of 2018.
Pure.
I've noticed people like you like to use the we language a lot. Like, oh, we and us and stuff. You're not a part of this shit. You're not hosting blood sports. Who cares what your fucking input is? I also thought a lot of the other things you said in your video were fucking dumb, too. I mean, you went on about the, it was wrong for Andy to show Skype messages from Sargon. Why?
It is fucking wrong.
Why? Should he
Because
be a bitch? Should he be a bitch and let
fucking
somebody lie
lied
about him?
about me.
This whole thing is a semantic argument, right? It's the same thing where you said, oh, it's a debate. I wanted to have a conversation. Well, it's supposed to be a debate.
No, the quartering. He said he never told me he wanted to speak to Spencer. That's not semantics. That's a straight out lie, right?
Look, we're not going to agree here, and that's fine. My point is just that you could have come on and said, look, Sargon, this is what you said. You didn't need
Wait
to
a minute,
expose-
Warski was a co-host for... Oh, so these two have had a prior beef before all of this current shit happened. Oh, dude, that just expands the perspective now, doesn't it? Oh, he's had a thorn in his side for quite a while, and it just so happens to be one of the people just so happens to be someone he's had beef with before. That's very interesting, isn't it? Very
A lot of
interesting.
things.
The problem Jeremy was having here with Warski is that Warski actually cared about people thinking he was a liar or somebody who just makes shit up. Jeremy couldn't understand this because Jeremy doesn't care about people thinking he's dishonest, talks out the side of his mouth, or is just pulling stuff out of his cheeks. He just wants to make money and will literally just lie about shit to get ahead or get out of a jam. A great example would be his drama with Matt Loader that same year. A dude in a dress, and no, I'm not being Rainbow Tribe phobic, settle down. Matt Loader is just a guy who likes to cross-dress. Literally a dude in a dress. Now this dress-wearing fella would end up assaulting Jeremy while on a trip to Gen Con in August of that year in Indianapolis.
And it was like 1:30, and somebody walked up behind me and said, hey, is your name Jeremy? And he would have been probably the 25th person to do that tonight. So I turned around, I said, yeah, and I stuck my hand out, and he immediately started punching me.
According to the Quartering, who would also shortly after open up a crowdfunding campaign for legal fees so he could sue this blouse-wearing bastard, Matt Loader was a deranged leftist who assaulted him for politically motivated reasons. That is a lie. It was actually because the Quartering had called Matt Loader a pedophile with literally no evidence. This was only a few months after Jeremy's anti-pedo crusade, just to show you how seriously Jeremy takes this subject. Anyway, Matt Loader didn't appreciate that, so he pulled up to Jeremy at a bar outside of Gen Con and pieced him up. Not condoning this alleged two-piece and a biscuit combo, Loader served Jeremy, just making it clear that Loader wasn't there to bash a fash. This was a classic I heard you was talking shit type confrontation. Apparently the bar was also damaged in the fight and cops had to show up and send both parties home.
This is the window he punched in after not being able to continue to punch me.
Now some of you might ask, but Mikey, if Jeremy was really assaulted, why would he sue Matt Loader instead of press charges against him? As a matter of fact, why didn't the cops just arrest Loader right there after he had assaulted somebody
that's very
and
interesting.
damaged the establishment's property in the scuffle? Oh, that's because it's an obvious lie, dude. I mean, he already lies from the get-go about not knowing who Loader was and also about Loader attacking him for culture war reasons when it was really about him calling bro a pedo with no evidence. He even lied about filing a police report. Quartering's retelling of events simply do not make sense and are very likely heavily embellished, if not simply
It's almost like, Quartering wouldn't want to take this to court because that might come out as evidence of why this guy would attack him. Right?
ate the fuck up. Which is probably why he would end up
Which,
settling for a
again,
video apology.
calling someone a pedo with no evidence, right, is provoking someone to take action against you. That is heavily provoking someone, right? If you provoke someone and they punch you, then you're just a fucking idiot, basically. And I think the cops will tell you the same thing. It's like, well, you provoked him. Like, yeah, sure enough, it's wrong, but at the same time, you fucking started it, you fucking idiot.
Matt Loader in May of next year rather than continue the suit.
Hi, this is Matt Loader. Some of you know me as Matt Fantastic. Just prior to Gen Con 2018, I let my anger get the best of me and physically confronted Jeremy Hambley outside a bar in Indianapolis over statements he made about me previously. I unequivocally take responsibility for my actions that evening, which were wrong, and apologize to Jeremy for my thoughtless conduct.
Jeremy Hambley is one of the most unreliable narrators on YouTube and is a fundamentally dishonest and disingenuous fat nigga. As will be proven in his follow-up.
I mean, you don't even need to say it to be sure about that. He already looks like a dishonest wretch.
About with Medicare in October of 2018, where he would put the gloves on for his E-daddy Carl Benjamin once again. In January of 2018, just a month before Quartering was on the Kumite with Andy and Medicare, Sargon took the first major step in his quest to save the West with his liberalist movement. Many dudes from the sector would poke fun at Sargon and his liberalists, saying they were cringe and taking this internet shit way too seriously. That Sargon, who had political ambitions that let his already big-ass head get too big for his own good, and that the IRL theater of national politics was a whole different ballgame than just making fun of some blue-haired SJWs online. His October 2018 Killstream appearance in particular would be the breaking point, and the Quartering threw his lot in 100% with his boy Sargon. Not only because he viewed Sargon as a friend, and that quite a bit of his channel's exceptional growth in late 2017 and early 2018 was owed to Don Sargon's blessing and the Quartering strategically cross-pollinating with the Skeptic's audiences, but also, Jeremy really did glaze Sargon to death and viewed him as his main E-daddy back in the day. So, in Sargon's honor, and also because he was envious of Jim's popularity just like he was envious of Christine Sprinkles, Quartering was gonna bring the heat. And he did it in a very bitch-made way. See, this was around the time...
So the Quartering's always been a simp for men. Yeah, that's interesting. So he was sitting there bashing this cosplayer for having, an audience of simps, right? When this guy is, the biggest fucking Sargon of Akkad simp. Like, my guy, dude. Maybe he doesn't even have a fucking wife. Maybe that's just a front. Maybe that's just to get away from the gay allegations, right?
When YouTube started to go harder against edgy content. A lot of the dissident right guys had already been purged, and even edgy apolitical content was getting shut down, including internet blood sports guys. So one day, Jeremy, out of nowhere, and in the midst of the big liberalist sector feud, starts telling Medicare to come outside. Come debate me, Jim. You know you won't, pussy. Oh, but it has to be on your stream. Not mine. And why was Jeremy so adamant about it being on Medicare's stream? Because you could get deplatformed just by having people send spicy super chats to you. And dude, wouldn't it be so funny if dozens of guys with names like I Love Adolf 1488 started filling your chat with $1 donos about how much the Holocaust was based and, just get your shit shut down? Bro, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, Jim didn't take the bait. But you know a guy who Quartering was yapping at the same time who did take the bait? Keemstar. For some reason, Quartering was perfectly fine with letting Keem on his program. Probably because he didn't have gay ops in store for him.
Keem doesn't need to host me on his channel. He's plenty big. I'm welcome. I am happy to invite him onto mine. Jim, on the other hand, is a coward who is afraid of his own super chats.
Letting Keemstar on would be a big mistake for two reasons. One, Jeremy was a little too tipsy for his own good, and that liquid courage shit he dishes out on Twitter doesn't really carry over to live debates. Keem kind of paddled that ass.
Look, I don't have a problem with you. You're the one that supposedly has this problem with me.
You called me a low IQ cuck.
Well, in response to what?
Where I said I made a joke about the guy in a dress, which is...
So wait a minute, he's called Keemstar a cuck. So he can dish it, but he can't take it. That's fucking hilarious, dude. So he's had absolutely no problem calling other people cucks, simps, and whatever, right? Over the years. But as soon as the co-hosts or like the hosts of Kino Casino, right, call this guy a cuck beta male, right? He all of a sudden loses his shit. What a pussy, mate.
Ridiculous, by the way. Somebody hit you. It's the first time you've ever been hit in your life. You overreact. You make multiple Twitter videos about it. You make YouTube videos about it, and now you're trying to sue the guy?
You know, some people just aren't bullied enough. Some people weren't bullied enough at school.
I'm not trying. I am suing him.
Why didn't you just hit him back?
That's not how it works, dude, Keem.
If he hit you first, it's fair and square. What the fuck are you talking about? My take is this. You talk shit to people, and then when they confront you, then you turn all beta, and you're like, oh no, it's not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't know, it's like that you're lonely.
Now, the second reason why Jeremy bringing Keemstar on was a bad idea was because Keem let Medicare onto Quartering stream for a second session of ass paddling.
No
How you doing there, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Oh, how you doing there? How you doing there, Soulboy? How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing great. How come we're not on your channel?
Oh, because you're the one that invited me over here, remember?
Did you stream last Sunday? I missed it.
No, see, I didn't want to be a cunt and, beg people for money when somebody's doing a charity stream like somebody else did.
So you saying you kissed the ring of Monday Matt last weekend?
Oh, no, I just didn't want to steal money from children like an asshole might do.
Well,
you know what I mean?
All the thousands of dollars that Ralph donated? Oh, wait, none of that. None of that actually made it.
No, well, I think it's the same guy that had to do a GoFundMe because a tranny beat him up.
Me? No.
Yeah, you got slapped around by a man in a dress. You're a real strong guy, Jeremy.
Keem,
you talk all this shit to Keem. You're a cuck, Keem. You're a coward. You're a pussy. You're a bitch. All this shit.
Well,
he shows up and it's, can I suck your balls a little harder? Oh, squirt it down my throat,
No,
Keem.
Jim, come on, dude. His take was what? That I sued a guy and he didn't agree with it. Okay, hot take.
No, his take was that you're a beta pussy bitch. You got beat up by a tranny. You are lying about being emotionally damaged with your lawsuit. And he's probably going to make fun of your wife, but you didn't show him a picture. Oh, and also you're boring as shit and you talk way too slow. That was his take. I didn't hear anything from you.
Well, I mean, am I supposed to post pictures of my wife to impress anonymous internet people or no?
You told him you would.
This is sad. I laughed. I wanted to get...
Oh my god, no way did he fucking say that. I would hope that he asks his wife, can I post a picture of you on the internet to own the chuds?
I was waiting to get Jim in here to see him battle, I tried to go at you a little bit, rile you up, but you just sucked my dick. You're just sad, dude.
How did I suck your dick, Keem?
You got on your knees
nothing gets you in fight mode. A guy punching you in the face doesn't get you in fight mode.
What am I supposed to...
Beta.
And that's the story of how Jeremy went 2-0 in a span of like 40 minutes on his own stream. Not the soldier Sargon wanted, but probably the one he deserved. That would be the end of Quartering's short-lived Bloodsport's career. By the end of next year, the entire Skeptic sector ecosystem would have changed anyway. The Skeptics would basically disintegrate through people leaving, infighting, self-destructing, and the liberalist movement collapsing after Sargon's big debut into mainstream politics turned into one of the most brutal public humiliation rituals in British history. And credit where it's due, the Quartering would come out of this tumultuous early era of his channel not only intact but thriving. His channel would become a money printing behemoth. And honestly, if that was it, if Jeremy was just a popular YouTuber, I wouldn't have made this video. But Jeremy wasn't satisfied with being just a popular YouTuber making a high 6-figure to low 7-figure income. That wasn't entrepreneurial enough for him. Nah, he needed a non-YouTube related business to make money off of. And this, in my opinion, is this dude's biggest problem. Because Jeremy Hambley is one of the most cartoonishly bad businessmen I have ever seen.
The crowdfunding, okay.
Before we get to the post-skeptic era of Jeremy's career, we gotta talk business. something a lot of YouTubers end up leaning into if they have any long-term thinking. The desire to take your YouTube riches and invest it into something outside of YouTube isn't unique to the quartering. It's basically a requirement for all YouTubers, unless you plan on getting another job or doing YouTube until you hit retirement age, which a shocking amount of middle-aged dudes on this platform unironically seem to plan to do. Quartering wasn't wrong to try and duplicate his streams of revenue off-site. Tons of popular YouTubers have made legit off-site businesses off of their YouTube fame and money. The issue is purely in execution. Now, some of you might say, well, Mikey, the majority of people who try to make content for a living never get any support. And if they do, they're lucky to just make minimum wage. Jeremy becoming a millionaire off content creation is genuinely an impressive feat. And okay, I don't disagree. But is being a successful content creator the same thing as being a successful businessman? There are literal teenagers who don't know shit about running a business, making an LLC, filing their taxes, or anything besides making videos, indoor streaming, and still end up as millionaires before they can legally drink. Running a successful business and running a successful YouTube channel are two separate enterprises. I feel most people understand this. Jeremy ain't most people. He's barely human for real. And his admittedly exceptional success as a YouTuber has got to put him under a self-afflicted genjutsu, wherein he believes he's a competent businessman too. He ain't. Closest he ever got was Be Your Own IT, which barely made any money, and which he sold off for more than it was worth the second he got the opportunity. There's also Marketing Sheriff LLC, which is just a small digital marketing firm he started in 2014 that would never become a known agency brand and is essentially just a business shell for Quartering's online work. Matter of fact, let's go over an entrepreneurial catastrophe of Jeremy's from this time, because it's a great example of what I'm getting at. We go back to late 2018. It's December, and it's a big moment for the Big Ham Planet, because he was launching a new ambitious project, exclusively games. It was going to be a gaming news website with videos and articles written by journalists along with a forum, all of which Quartering pitched as a politics-free haven for gamers. Hey, great idea, bro. How you gonna pay for that? A small forum is one thing, but you're talking about building something like IGN. Well, the solution to that was simple. He was going to crowdfund the money. Despite making a pretty heavy bag from YouTube at this point, Quartering still decided to launch an Indiegogo campaign for $5,000. And ain't it interesting how Jeremy, who brags about how much money he makes and who claims he was making
net probably low sevens.
Okay.
By 2018, still had to crowdfund $5,000 from his fans. Anyway, the campaign was a success. Quartering would end up raising almost $160,000 by the campaign's end. Okay, we got some motion here, some real fan support. Now you would think when Exclusively Games launched in 2019, everything would be smooth, what with Jeremy getting over 3,000% more than what he initially needed to even get it off the ground. You would be The site was violently burning through money from day one. The main problems for Exclusively Games came down to two very poorly thought out promises Quartering made beforehand. One was that he was gonna be hands-off editorially. This was his way of not scaring the hoes, so to speak. Possibly warding off people who wouldn't want to touch the site because he was affiliated with it. It didn't work. Obviously, because you own it, nigga. You were always going to be affiliated with it regardless. It also meant that when things started getting funky at Exclusively Games, he wouldn't be able to put out the fires because he literally wasn't paying attention to this website he had taken $160,000 from his audience to make.
What?
The second bad promise was that he promised
wait a minute. He took money from his audience. And he wasn't actually, having anything to do with it. So he had no idea where the fucking money was going. So for all he knows, the money could be going to fucking strip clubs and nights out and all that shit. Oh, no way. They could have just ran with the money and he would have no fucking clue.
Ads. All the money would be made from donations and merch sales. The problem with this idea is that it only really works as a business model if you have a lot of dedicated users/whales. Exclusively Games did not. As for the other problems, well, it'd be simpler for me to just read these messages of people who worked at and used Exclusively Games. He spent $2.5K to have the review section redesigned. Ground up, the developers took about 2 to 3 weeks to finish. Isn't he struggling for money? Yup. They finished. They put the reviews in the staging area. On offline version of the site, only the admins have access to. They worked brilliantly, better than ever. Apparently, Jeremy forgot about it, and despite 2 to 3 emails of them asking if they should go live with the new version, he never responded. I didn't either, but wasn't my job to at this point. The site sounds like it'll be dead in a year. Yeah, it's on fumes now. He's out of money for it 100%. I like Jeremy. He's always been goodish to me. He paid me very well, but I can't save EG, and he wouldn't let me even if I tried. Too controlling. I mean, I don't know 100% about EG, but it's costly as fuck to go about this the way he is. 160K could keep a website plus staff afloat for maybe 6 to 12 months. This one is my favorite. Indian devs doing weird shit. He outsourced the site to India?
What?
OMG, I didn't tell you? He just...
What the fuck?
just fired them last week for sending in bills for things we never ordered. They probably sensed that he didn't have a good grasp of the financial situation, given that he just paid them $2.5K for nothing. So I think they tried to milk a little $100 here, $250 there, and he caught on finally.
He just fired them last week for sending in bills for things we never ordered. Okay. They probably sensed that he didn't have a good grasp of the financial situation. This is the person you trust with your money? Given that he just paid them $2.5K for nothing. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. The quartering outsourced the maintenance of the site he took $160,000 from his fans to create to some random Indians who scammed him, because of course they did. Things started going so bad for Exclusive.
Like, did they fucking say, like, they work for a Nigerian prince?
Games that Jeremy ran a second fundraiser in July 2019 and got another $50K.
I gotta say, you know, like that, the Indians who fucking worked for this guy, right, must have really impressed him with their resume of working for that Nigerian prince.
From his mark-ass followers. It didn't help. By May 2020, despite being over $200,000 in the hole of other people's money, by the way, Jeremy would announce that Exclusively Games was on pause.
When I started this project, it was a passion project, one that I wanted to prove that a website that doesn't rely on outrage can exist in modern day. My plan was to crowdfund.
So sorry. The reason you wanted to make this website was because you wanted to prove. It's like, bro, like, I can just imagine how he came, like, how the conception of this website came about, right? He was in the pub, right? He was at a bar with his buddy and all that stuff, and his buddy was going on about how it's impossible for websites to exist nowadays without having a bit of outrage content, right? And the quartermaster was like, no, it is possible. And be like, oh yeah, go do it then. I was like, I fucking will. And that's how it happened. He made a GoFundMe the next day. I can just imagine that was the reason he made the website. So you wanted to make this website because you wanted to prove that a website could exist without like without like outrage content. This guy fucking high all the time.
As long as it took to eventually build up a YouTube channel.
You took $160K to prove this. Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Channel that would then fund the channel. Well, after the first 6 months, the YouTube channel really didn't pick up very much steam, wasn't generating any money, And between paying an editor and people to do social media and to write articles, the money disappeared very quickly. So we ran a second fundraiser. And at that point, I had made it my goal to figure out how to get this funded without continuing to ask for handouts, because I wanted the site to exist on its own. Well, that didn't work. I tried running Amazon ads. I tried doing a couple of different, ads like that. At the end of the day, the site really failed to reach critical mass. Much of that falls on me for not advertising it enough.
Some disgruntled fans of the Quartering, unamused by his bullshit, launched an imitation site also called Exclusively Games, with the same logo, forum, and even Twitter handle. It didn't last for long, but it goes to show the passion that some of the Quartering's fans had was genuine, and he could have actually had something on his hands if he was just more competent. All in all, it turned out to be more of a money-burning exercise than anything else. Made Game Finder almost look competently executed by comparison. And that's just the beginning. There was also that time in 2020 when the pandemic was taking the world by storm that Quartering would obtain a $32,500 PPP loan for Marketing Sheriff LLC as part of the COVID-19 relief program, a loan which was fully forgiven by the government. Now, Jeremy is far from the only businessman to take advantage of this program during the pandemic, but Jeremy, who likes to think of himself as a real businessman who got it out the mud and didn't take handouts, gets a little upset when people compare PPP to other types of loan forgiveness. It's okay, bro. You're not less of a man just because you got off on PPP. You are less of a man because at that time you ran away from a bread tuber in August of 2020, though. What happened is one evening, Quartering's wino tendencies got him into some trouble again. While drunk, he badgered and eventually agreed to a debate with the Surf Times if the Surf Times could raise $5,000 for charity. The Surf Times then went on to raise 8 times that for a trans charity. Now, when the time came for Jeremy to show up or shut up, he ran. He ran away.
No way. No way. That's awesome. That is so awesome that happened. I can't believe that. That is so fucking amazing. I had scheduled a debate with a harsh critic of mine. In good faith, I agreed to speak to them for charity's sake. This week, they have taken to a charity live stream and raised money spreading absurd lies about me and showing anything but good faith. I should have known.
His tail tucked between his fat thighs.
I had scheduled a debate with a harsh critic of mine. In good faith, I agreed to speak to them for charity's sake. This week, they have taken to a charity live stream and raised money spreading absurd lies about me and showing anything but good faith.
No way. No way.
I should have known.
No way.
I'll keep to my word about donating money, but this will be the last time I agree to speak to these people in good faith. I've maintained radio silence, not engaged or fired shots at them, but they simply couldn't be bothered to extend the same comedy.
Shit boy.
It goes on. Moving forward, it's pretty hilarious how these folks consider themselves so full of virtue. I wonder what the charity would think about them using the platform of raising money to help trans people was at least partly funded by harassing and bullying others. Oh, wow. Hypocrites, as usual.
This motherfucker really ducked the debate with a bread tuber. Grown-ass man who talks shit about other people for a living, who one of his biggest gravy trains was making fun of other people in the Magic community and obsessing over Brie Larson, was crying because a bread tuber was cyberbullying him. My thoughts on this are encapsulated by a tweet by Vouch of all people. Oh, what an unbelievable pussy. The Quartering said he'd only debate at the Surfs TV if he gave $5,000 to charity. So Lance went ahead and raised over $40,000 for Trans Mutual Aid in a massive 36-hour marathon. And now the Quivering is backing out. Just embarrassing. But what's amazing is that this still wasn't the most embarrassing thing to have happened to the Quartering that month. No, that honor goes to something before this, to Pissgate, the time Jeremy got blackout drunk and pissed in his basement.
You never know. Maybe I'm gonna pee in my trash can down here. I don't know. My wife went out for pizza without me, and I'm angry about it. So I'm gonna win this round, and I'm gonna pee. If I don't win this round, I'm gonna pee in my own basement. What do we think about that? I don't have a bathroom down here. I was ready to pee my pants. I'm ready to, I don't have a toilet down here. All I have is a drain in the floor. I feel like we're gonna have to use it though. I feel like we're gonna have to use it. I gotta pee so bad. 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 I'll never survive this round. I'm not gonna survive this round. I gotta pee so bad. Nobody's been eliminated either. Get up! Get up! No!
No fucking way.
I've literally never lost that round. But I'm ready. I'm ready now. Oh my god. I just peed in my basement. No, not in the kitty litter. Just in the drain. In the drain. Look, if you want to watch a streamer that wants to pee in the potty, go watch someone else. When you're a pro gamer like me, yeah, I mean, if you're a dude that, if you want to watch a dude that's going to piss in the fucking overflow tank, and
see, real gamers play something like this, right? The pro gamers are playing League or Call of Duty. No, they aren't pro gamers. Real pro gamers play Fall Guys.
Basement, that's who I am. I'm not taking a pause to pee.
I guess you can just get away with shit like this when you're just known for regurgitating news 5 to 6 times a day. And that's the story of how the quartering, aka PP Piss Boy, relieved himself on the floor of his basement. All in all, 2020 wasn't the best year for Jeremy. A lot of it came down to, well, him. But the alcohol definitely helped. We jump to 2022, the year, in my opinion, that's been the most faithful for the quartering after 2017. It was the year he would purposely shackle the heaviest ball and chain he could to his ankle, voluntarily branding himself with a brand of sacrifice that would see financial demons hunting him down for years to come. This was the year that he would, in May, announce coffee brand coffee.
If you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you know I've spent the better part of the last 5 years covering companies who have gotten woke and eventually gotten broke, lamenting how major companies like Disney or even ice cream makers or comic books have at best become politically divisive and at worst outright attacked their
I kind of find how that's kind of like a little bit silly to go like, oh, go woke or get broke, you know, like sort of thing. When their main argument against people who defend companies, right, against them, are that they are shills, that they are people that get paid by the company to be like a mouthpiece and all that stuff, right? That is one of their main arguments. So it's like, okay, so if someone goes woke, like, and gets broke, right, like, how does that work? Unless they're like, I guess it's like talking about the actual, like, shows and all that stuff. I guess, you know, maybe.
Customers. Well, I've sat on the sidelines long enough, and I've decided that I was going to put my money where my mouth was and get into the game. Introducing coffee brand coffee. So yeah, I bought a coffee company.
And man, Quarter would really act like this was going to be his biggest move yet. That this was going to be the crown jewel of his entrepreneurial journey. What it would actually turn out to be is a financial burden, a money pit, and a masterclass on how not to run a business. First, we'll start with the conceptual phase. From the beginning, Jeremy's attitude with this business ordeal of his was a little problematic. He talked about all the other businesses he's covered over the years that have failed, but presenting their failings as a result of them just
gotten woke and eventually gotten broke.
Never mind that there have been woke-free and straight-up anti-woke businesses that have also gone broke. But Jeremy had fooled himself into believing that as long as he didn't become an obnoxious ideologue, his coffee company would magically make money. That's not how this works. Conceptual phase problem number 2. Starting a coffee company as your breakout business as a YouTuber is so played out, it's basically parody at this point. Like, how much coffee do these niggas think the average person drinks? And that ain't even the worst of it. Because if you're a content creator and you start your own coffee brand, your main competition isn't going to be the other content creator-owned coffee brands. It's going to be the mainstream brands of coffee everybody already buys and are readily available on shelves at Walmart, Target, Costco, etc.
Yeah, to be fair, like my coffee, yeah, I drink from like a Tasmo machine. So it's just like, I'm not gonna buy some YouTuber's coffee, like, brand, right? I'm not gonna buy from their brand. I'm gonna buy from Tasmo, right? That's what I'm gonna buy for. I'm gonna buy the coffee pods. Now, if the Quartering can actually sell coffee pods that work with a Tasmo machine, and he actually has some good flavors, I may consider buying it, right? Just to try it out. And to review it. I'll make a review if he ever does that, right? That'd be crazy. But like... but like, what do you call it? I'm not going to buy the Quartering's coffee granules or coffee beans, okay? Like, I'm sorry, but in my opinion, like, shit, it's the same thing with Reforged Gaming, where he has, like, Reforged Roast, right? Why the fuck, yeah, why am I going to switch brands for you? Like, what's so special about your coffee, buddy? Like...
And this brings us to conceptual phase problem number 3.
I mean, yeah, Kangaloope, you bought Peach Earl Grey tea from FBS Diesel's brand. Yeah, I would say, personally, like, it would depend on, like, if I was to try Diesel's brand one time, right? And I actually like the flavor and all that stuff, or, like, the consistency of the coffee, then I might consider, like, swapping to, like, his brand and going, like, okay, I'm just gonna continuously buy from his, website and all that stuff for coffee now, because I like his coffee better. But, like, I would probably only do that on a whim, really. So, like, it is, like, you have to have, like, like, there's one coffee brand out there that's actually trying to make it out to be, like, it's the most healthy version of, any sort of coffee out there. Like, I'm guessing people have seen the ads for it, right? Where, like, they're saying, like, it's, like, you know, like, my coffee brand will have, it will be, like, what do you call it? Like, that fatigue that you feel after having that cup of coffee, it will be gone and all that stuff, right? They'll sell you these little things, and it's just snake oilsman shit, right? It is just snake oilsman shit. Like, they make it sound like so perfect and so much better than the average, you know, brand out there that doesn't really give a shit about your health, but they really care. You know, like, I guess that could work, personally. I guess that could really work. But I'm not, like, you know, this is the thing. If I'm already going with an established brand that I trust and all that stuff, and at the same time, it's the only type of coffee I actually drink is, like, from a Tasmo machine, right? What are the chances I'm going to just say, fuck you, Tasmo, I'm going to go with the Quarterings coffee, right? Especially as I don't like coffee that comes out of a fucking kettle.
The name. Quartering naming his coffee company Coffee Brand Coffee is simultaneously the most arrogant and most retarded thing he has ever done.
I mean, it is just a laziness. It is just pure fucking laziness. You couldn't call it anything else. You couldn't have it be like a play on your own name, sort of thing. Like, you could have called it the brewing or some shit like that. Or the brewing. You could have just called it the brewing. That's what you could have called it, right? That would have been like a sort of like the same sort of ring as the quartering. You could have called it the brewing. Like, or the brewtering or some shit like that. But instead you call it coffee brand coffee. It's just like, that's just really lazy. It's just really fucking lazy.
Ones on this pendejo that give his coffee this placeholder ass name and this generic minimalist off-brand aesthetic really speaks to how high he had gotten on his own supply. He really thought he was like that he could sell this shit based on his own name recognition. Maybe he even thought that his giant audience would buy up his whole stock in the first year so he wouldn't need to make use of that masters in internet marketing.
Also, I think, yeah, like, when we look at this, yeah, like, it says, quality coffee with no gimmicks. Fresh roasted to order. Like, fresh roasted to order? Like, sorry, does he think that people are fucking retarded or some shit like that? Does he think, yeah, that he's, like, the smartest guy on the fucking planet? We all know how this all fucking works, quartering. It's all stashed in a fucking warehouse waiting to be shipped to a customer after they purchase it. It's not fucking freshly roasted to order. Like, that's complete bullshit. It gets roasted, packaged, and then shipped to a fucking warehouse and then delivered to a customer's house after they purchase it online. That's how it works. That is how it fucking works. Okay? Like, you would think, yeah, that would take fucking forever, right? That would literally take forever to, like, do anything, like, with that, like, brand, right? If you were, like, freshly roasting to order. It's like, oh, someone bought a bag of coffee. All right, guys, time to work for a living and all that stuff. And they just they make one bag. And that's it. That's their job for the day. Done, basically.
Marketing and actually market his product to him. He would be wrong. Because quartering would spend the next few years from the time he launched it to the date of me making this video, struggling to sell his generic, boring, overpriced coffee to anyone, including his fans. Turns out when you name your product something that if you put it into Google, you get 9,000 other products first, it's kind of hard to sell. You would think a dude with a degree in marketing would know that, but I guess not. So literally, before the company even got off the ground, the odds of it being a success were already in the single-digit percentage range. If Jeremy had consulted anybody else first, maybe the future woes he would have had to endure could have been avoided. But that's the downside of being rich and also being your own boss. You develop an ego and start thinking you don't need to get a second opinion on shit. Bro really started thinking he was the Elon Musk of YouTube, who he loves, by the way. Jeremy's admiration of Elon is so strong, in fact, that in December of 2022, after Elon bought Twitter, Jeremy got overexcited, got piss boy levels of drunk again, and had a meltdown about how much he loved Elon and wanted to eat his semen just like he ate Sargon.
I literally got out of bed to make this video. My most important video that I've literally ever made on this channel. I'm tired. I've been working 14 hours a day. I'm on fumes. Like pure gas. But this decision, this minute, this moment is so important that I'm willing to F up my entire week. I'm blowing my entire notification window for this video because it's important. It's the most important video I've ever done. Elon Musk has put out a poll. Should I step down as head of Twitter? It is currently 56.3% to 43.7%. It's actually gotten a little bit closer. I need you to go to Elon Musk's Twitter right now. Go to his poll and vote no.
So what was Quartering's brilliant idea on how he was going to sell his coffee? By shilling it, constantly and shamelessly. Shilling your own products isn't the worst thing in the world. It's actually quite respectable to sell something to your audience that you made yourself rather than shill products to some random company whose stuff you might not even use or would have endorsed if you weren't receiving a check for it. But the problem with Jeremy's shilling of CBC is volume and desperation. Quartering would literally never miss an opportunity to shill coffee brand coffee. The pinnacle of Quartering's relentless quest to shill coffee brand coffee. Just the moment that really embodies how desperate this dude has been to sell a single bag of this overpriced bullshit of his is when on June 8th of 2022, when Tim Pool, a longtime associate of Quartering's and fellow YouTube news slopper, got swatted during one of his Timcast streams. Now the chat was still live while Tim and the others were away, and while they were, the Quartering went into Tim's chat and shilled his fucking coffee.
What?
This is a high-stress moment, likely a great moment to brew up a delicious cup of coffee brand coffee if the stress is getting you. Perhaps one of our new teas will calm you? Maybe a velvety cup of coffee brand cocoa. Jeremy did this like 4 or 5 times before Tim returned, and even replied with further shilling under all of Tim's tweets.
I heard, you know what the craziest thing was? When we were outside, right, and cops were in the suite, we just kept hearing coffee brand coffee. And I was like, listen, coffee. And I was like, what? Looking around, and then I open the chat, and all I see is Chet's coffee brand coffee. I'm like, what's happening? Quartering. Jeremy. He gave us $400.
More than that.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Bro literally has no sense of shame. Now what's funny is that Quartering joked on Twitter, look, I'm not saying I caused the swatting at Tim Pool's house just to hawk my delicious coffee, organic teas, and indulgent cocoas, but I'm not saying that, and then proceeded to get swatted himself just a few hours later.
Look, that's what you get, fam. Push you. Yeah, blood. Whose end are you coming to now, fam? Dickhead.
Despite all this shilling, hawking, suspiciously hyper-positive 5-star reviews, and promises about how he'd get coffee brand coffee on store shelves by the end of 2022, reception to Quartering's coffee has always remained mixed, and he's always struggled to sell any of it. Now, just because Quartering was sinking in the commercial quicksand that was his coffee company, that wouldn't stop him from starting another business just a year later. See, this is how cocky bro was. He was just swimming in money, huffing in all his mustiness, thinking he was gonna be making 9 figures by 2030 or whatever. The motivation for this particular capitalist venture, however, wasn't just Quartering's desire to have a legitimate business, it was to simp. Specifically, the simp for Sydney Watson, the Australian-American former Blaze employee who, along with Elijah Schaefer, who was also present at Jan 6 and went inside the Capitol building in Nancy Pelosi's office with Bait Alaska and even took a picture of Nancy Pelosi's email, but was the only person who went inside the Capitol and never faced any punishment for it, for some reason. Hosted the show You Are Here Together. After Sydney left the Blaze and got in a lawsuit with him, she was kinda left in a bad spot. So Jeremy decided to bust out his cape and play Captain Save a Sheila, and they would, in late 2022, start a new show together called Community Notes. But the Save a Sheila didn't stop there. Now, in March 2023, Quartering would team up with Sydney to launch a whole website called The Publica. The Publica will be a politics and culture news site for free thinkers and mischief makers that will be a grassroots alternative to mainstream media. And Quartering would front $2,500,000 into this venture.
It's disappointing to hear about Sydney, but I don't know what anyone takes Lauren Southern seriously. Yeah, I mean, I was heartbroken when I saw her messages. She like literally told people, you know, I went out of my way to try and help her with her tea company. And she had no idea how to do fulfillment or any of this shit. And I was like, hey, let me help you with that. And because she didn't like the price that it would cost me, by the way, I was making no money on it. She told all these other people in these private DM groups that I was ripping her off. But by the way, meanwhile, I had paid about $250,000 to start the Publica, and she'd paid $0.
Nigga, you's a mark. Nigga, you's a lame. Nigga, you's a nerd. Nigga, you soft. Nigga, you frail. Nigga, you look like you a tail. Nigga, you's a buster. Nigga, you's a sucker. Nigga, you look like if your bitch told you she fucked another nigga but say she won't do it again. Nigga, you look like you a truster.
This thirsty ass happily married man threw $250,000 away in a vain attempt to build a new media empire with Sydney Watson. Quartering likes to say shit like,
I learned long ago that internet foins is dumb. That's why I don't do collabs. That's why I don't take selfies with other YouTubers. I'm just here to get on my grind.
But I don't know, Jeremy. Throwing $250,000 into a collab with a bitch you barely know is definitely a few steps beyond what most people would do for their internet friends. Jeremy actually really wants internet friends more than the average e-celeb does. He yearns for acknowledgement and acceptance from his peers like Dankula, Sargon, Tim Pool, and especially conservative women like Sydney, along with Lauren Southern, Lauren Chin, and pretty much any other right-wing chick he tried to bait using his money. Sydney barely gave him crumbs of attention before, by the way. But now that she was in a vulnerable state and having burned several bridges with conservative influencers she probably shouldn't have, she had to rely on Jeremy, who swooped in to be the extremely awkward and creepy hero that Sydney probably didn't want but definitely deserved. And when I say awkward and creepy, I'm not just pulling a quartering and pulling stuff out of my cheeks. On the show, Jeremy would often let loose slips like,
my DMs are closed. I'd get too many dick pics.
Do you? Oh.
Just loads of them. And they're not great either. They're not great. They're like flaccid. Girl, have you ever peed in a trough where there's like dongs on the left of you and to the right? You can see them both.
You
and
don't
you're
have to
peeing
look
in an
at them.
open river.
You don't have to look at them. It's
You
not
have
like
to look. It's a respect thing. If there's a guy who is like supremely hung, you would like rib him about it. You know what I mean? Versus like be jealous.
And it wouldn't be Jeremy without him getting drunk and saying weird shit on Twitter he would have to delete later once he's sobered up, like this one. If this post ends on an odd number of replies, Sydney will post a lewd photo in the replies. One can only imagine what Sydney's DMs from this period look like. Anyway, Operation Simping for Sydney ultimately ended in failure after the Publica failed to gain any traction and struggled to hit even 20% of its subscription goal.
So I have to make a little bit of an announcement. Myself and my good friend Sydney Watson launched a media company back in February 2022, known as the Publica. Almost everybody, on a personal note, who worked for that site did it for almost peanuts. But sadly, my time with the Publica has come to an end. My career has been evolving, and I've just been spread too thin, and I need more time and space for personal projects.
Spread too thin? How the fuck is your business spread too thin? Like, it's not even fucking off the ground yet.
According to former employees, Quartering fired the staff while drunk in the middle of the night, and Sydney, though she wouldn't outright trash him, has avoided being caught up in the Quarter Planet's orbit too much ever since. Hey, nobody said something was easy or cheap. Another failed business venture and another failed attempt to catch himself an e-girl. But that was okay. Jeremy was gonna throw more money at another conservative woman he wouldn't make the money back on, namely Melanie Mack. Now, she isn't the only woman currently employed.
The fucking most disingenuous bitch on the internet. The 40-year-old the 40-year-old woman who's having a midlife crisis.
By the Quartering. He has several people, male and female, on his payroll that he probably shouldn't. But what makes Melanie stand out?
The woman who complained about gooning after, like, what do you call it? Building an audience full of fucking degenerate men.
Is not only does she not really bring anything to the table besides being one of several human money pits that orbit around the Quarter Planet and eat up his net worth, but Jeremy is obviously fixated on and overfamiliar with her to a degree he just isn't with any other co-host, and constantly white knights and fights battles for her to a degree that, even as a boss trying to look out for his employees, is kinda much. It also makes his earlier words about Christine Sprinkle and her white knights look a little hypocritical in hindsight. This was most obvious during the brief Goonergate incident in December of last year, when Melanie and a handful of other culture war righties went crusading against not porn, but extremely sexualized content in male-targeted media in general. Now, people started clapping back at Melanie and her anti-Gooner allies' Puritan stances, and also pointed out that Melanie, as a fan of Tomb Raider, was throwing stones from a glass house. Quartering would then come to Milady's defense against these Gooner nerds who just wanted to play big titty games all day. Just to remind you guys how Jeremy was moving just a couple years ago.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here, Unsleeved Media, and I've got a scoop for you. I've got some rejected art from Ixalan. You know, I don't know if you have seen this. I did share this image with the YouTubes. I'm not entirely sure why Wizards of the Coast wouldn't print this card. I mean, certainly very powerful, very intelligent, very thought-provoking. Lots to think about with this card. What's going on in Jorah's mind here?
But Jeremy wasn't reflecting any of that. He just jumped at the opportunity to look good for an employee he'd be better off laying off. This is true for most of the Quartering's employees. He hires all these people to help run his businesses that all fail anyway, save for his YouTube channel that could probably run just as well with just 1 or 2 full-time editors. The most use Quartering really gets out of these guys is as co-hosts on his Rumble streams, which he started mostly streaming from in 2023. Now, he said it was because of free speech Rumble allowed compared to YouTube, which is preposterous. Like, Quartering's not even spicy enough for that to be an authentic reason. Part of the reason why Quartering's been able to thrive over the years anyway is because all of the actual edgy people, the far righties, the edgelord comedians, the shot jock streamers and whatnot, would all get banned during the late 10s, and there was a vacuum for milquetoast righties like Ben Shapiro, Tim Pool, and the Quartering to thrive in. The actual reason Jeremy went to Rumble was for the fat checks Rumble was going to pay him to stream from there, and the benefits of constantly being on Rumble's front page. Jeremy's Rumble deal has made him a heavy chunk of change over the years, until it hasn't. See, Jeremy, despite his years of experience and frequent business failures at this point, still has failed to internalize one of the most basic rules of business, that is, preparing for downturns. When business is booming, everything's easy. You can lose a couple stacks and recoup it all and then some in a few years. But when winter comes, when the drought comes, when that recession hits and the revenue ain't hitting like it used to, is your business capable of weathering the momentary hardship and not just fall apart? The answer, if your name is Jeremy Hambley, is no. Quartering's entire empire was built off the back of his YouTube success. His endless stream of YouTube slot videos is his financial foundation. Everything else is supplementary. So when these other businesses have been failing, Jeremy was like, it's fine. When his staff payroll gets a little high, he's like, it'll be alright. Even when Rumble ended its deal with Jeremy, stopped paying him those big checks, his subscriptions there start drying up, and he didn't get reliably put on Rumble's front page anymore, he could still shrug and say, well, it's not great, but it's not the end of the world. But shit, it's different when his YouTube metrics start performing so well too.
Looks like there's some trouble in paradise.
See, Jeremy's been getting a bit anxious as of late, like actually losing his shit a bit.
I know a lot of you have been asking about my breathing, what's going on with that. It's from anxiety, and I've been having a lot of it lately. I've been trying to get off the medication. I've been on, SSRIs for a long time for anxiety, and they tried to say, oh, well, let's up your dose, but I didn't want to do that. And my doctor's like, well, it's not as effective anymore because you've been on it for such a long time. I'm hoping this is just a rough patch. It was a really, really, really stressful July between, my foot. I had Achilles tendonitis, then I had gout, and then I had anxiety, and then I had, the no paycheck for July because the Rumble deal expired. It was just a whole bunch of crazy, stressful
Man, this guy's such a fucking attention seeker. I mean, like, he did simp for Melanie Mac, who is also an attention seeker. But fucking hell. Oh, my life sucks, guys. Like, this happened, and this happened, and this happened. Shut the fuck up, dude. You're fucking making, like, quite a bit of money off of YouTube.
Stuff. Now, you might look at these numbers and say, that's not bad. Well, they are bad when you're an almost 2 million sub channel and you're hundreds of thousands of dollars in the hole and are employing way more people than you should. Apparently, breaking even 70K on a video is no longer a guarantee for the quartering. Not unless he's talking about something topical like Charlie Kirk's assassination. By the way, Jeremy has been one of those guys going at Candace Owens for milking Charlie's death for views.
I mean, that is the issue with these types of content, isn't it? It gives you a good spike when you're in the heat of the story. But when it's on the offset, right, when the story has concluded and there's nothing more to be milked from it, it just fucking dies. You know, the view count just dies. And you'll get like, oh, you may get like a few views every now and again. But like, it's not like it's evergreen content. It's more spike content. Same thing with drama videos. Drama videos are, you know, you can get quite a lot of views if it's in the heat of the drama, right? And, you know, sometimes you'll see a spike every now and again of views. You'll get, like, a load of views every now and again. Like, say, for instance, my Andy Pants gaming video, right? Got a bunch of views, right? Got, like, a few thousand views when it first came out, because it was, like, on the offset of the drama. It wasn't in the heat of it. It wasn't when it was happening. But then, what are you calling it? Then all of a sudden, when something new came out about Andy Pants Gaming, it just, like, you know, it blew up again. And it got like about 20k views and all that stuff within the span of like a couple of weeks, which was really good. But like, yeah, that's just generally what happens with this type of content is that, yeah, like you'll get like a good amount of views if you've uploaded it within the time frame of the current drama or current topic that is happening. But like after it's subsided, right, the view counts will stagnate quite a bit. So that's why the quartering has to like upload 4 times a day, because like he needs to keep getting those views. And you know, this is why I'm always like, I feel kind of blessed to have a channel that has evergreen content, because it always drives in the views. It's as simple as that can be. It constantly generates views.
Despite making literally dozens of videos about Charlie in a row to milk his death for views too. Reminded that Jeremy's full of shit and just as much of a shameless grifter as Candace is. Jeremy's metrics are even worse on his secondary channel, Jeremy Hambly. This used to be a channel called Quartercast, and he can't even get 50k on a video reliably anymore. The last few months have been the worst performing months he's had on YouTube in years. And he can blame it on his channel getting shadow banned, censored, or strangled, as if his cookie cutter ass clickbait is worth that type of effort from Google. The truth is, after being blessed with a gravy train for the better part of a decade, YouTube's algorithm doesn't care for the quartering in his stank anymore. Censorship.
You know, this is the reason why, even when the goods, when the good's going good, right, you should save quite a bit of your money. So when you get to points like this where your career kind of stagnates and starts to lose some of its drive, you're not really going to be that affected by it, right? You won't have to sit there and go, guys, like, you know, money's been really tight lately. I need you to donate money to me and all that stuff. Like, you would just be sitting there laughing if you had just saved the money itself, right? And stopped wasting it.
on YouTube has actually lessened recently under Neil Mahan, and Neil's even let some edgy boys from the past who've been banned for a while back on the platform. Now this is terrible news for Jeremy, because the lack of competition was one of his main strengths. He can't hang in an era of YouTube where he's not getting that algorithmic stimulus package and has to compete with right-leaning content creators who make better content than his slop. The next few years of Jeremy's YouTube career aren't looking too bright. And if all this financial stress was occurring in just one place, that'd be bad enough. But it's everywhere, all at once. His main channel, his secondary channel, his Rumble, and worst of all, his coffee company. Bro, Coffee Brand Coffee has gotten Jeremy all...
Okay, so we're in the last chapter now. This is chapter 10. Okay, cool. Cool.
the
I was
way
like wondering how
fucked
many...
up. Apparently, he's over $300,000 in debt.
What's wrong, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I wasn't sure I was going to go public about this, but it appears I have to now. Many of you know that I've got a lot of irons in the fire. You've heard me say, "Hey, I've got my Mega Mixology cookbook to help fund the new studio." Obviously it's a meme, but you all know I have my coffee company. All of these things have stretched basically me to the absolute max. It was fine. You probably saw I was selling my Neo Geo collection. I'm selling my Nintendo collection. I'm selling all this stuff to help fund this stuff. We really are at an inflection point where a lot of companies would take on investors. I've got $300,000 almost floating right now in debt. I'm just being dead serious.
And it's the worst type of debt. Debt that's tied to high interest loans and unsecured credit. And he just can't sell any of it. It doesn't matter how many flavors he has or how many holiday specials he makes. He's not moving any of this product. No market footprint and no market penetration. Only thing getting penetrated is Jeremy's bussy, cause winter is coming, bills are due, and he's got tons of inventory that nobody, including his fans, want. And before we get off this subject, I need to spill some beans about a certain not-so-secret detail concerning Coffee Brand Coffee. That is the claim that Jeremy does everything in-house at his privately owned coffee company and doesn't just drop ship.
There's a big difference between what I do and what most everyone else does. I don't drop ship my coffee. We roast our own special blends. We hand flavor our beans. We pack our orders. We ship our orders. We handle our customer service. We are not a drop ship outlet. We're a real coffee.
Yes. Just basically poisoning the well against every other coffee brand. Oh yeah, we don't do what everyone else does. No, we're unique. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever you fucking say, buddy, you fucking lying piece of shit.
Coffee company.
Yeah, that is also a lie. Jeremy doesn't do all the work in-house. Pick the beans, roast the blends, all that stuff. He didn't even really buy a coffee company at all. What he's actually been doing is repackaging coffee made by a company called Mill Creek Coffee Roasters and selling it as his own, which he can...
No fucking way. Bro, you can get sued for that shit. Literally just buying someone else's coffee and then just like taking it out of the packaging and then putting it in your own packaging, sealing it back up and then selling it to people. Oh my fucking god, dude, you're a fucking moron.
Do since Mill Creek Coffee Roasters is a private label that allows other white label companies, which Coffee Brand Coffee actually is, to do that. In a video Jeremy posted to prove that he does in fact have a roastery, people are able to compare these photos to ones that Mill Creek Coffee had available on their social media, and they looked identical. People also noticed that Coffee Brand Coffee's LLC coincidentally happened to share the exact same address as the LLC of Player One Coffee, a coffee company coincidentally owned by Zach Shutt, who's also the CEO of MetaPCs, coincidentally one of Jeremy's main sponsors over the years. Also, coincidentally, of course, Zach's Coffee had also featured a roastery that looked an awful lot like Mill Creek's. Also, they somehow had the same address that was only a 20-minute drive from a facility owned by Mill Creek Coffee Roasters, who are the ones who are actually brewing this coffee. Not Player One Coffee, and certainly not Coffee Brand Coffee. This whole time, Quartering's been bragging about how he's doing everything in-house instead of drop shipping. In reality, what he's doing is technically a step below drop shipping, because not only is Coffee Brand Coffee a white label product, it's just a copy of another white label product, Player One Coffee. And this isn't some grand secret either. Companies who actually do roast their own beans know exactly what Jeremy is doing. So the Coffee Brand Coffee Company, that's basically a millstone around this motherfucker's neck at this point, was built on a lie that Quartering has been peddling for over 3 years. Let this be a lesson. Being a grifter doesn't always pay. The Quartering is spiraling. His metrics keep dropping, his businesses have all failed or are actively failing. He's burning through money month after month, and Melanie Mack and Sydney Watson still won't give him a crumb. It's tough out here for Jeremy. Well, not really. Because as much as Jeremy likes to beg his fans to bail
it kind of explains why he's such a thin-skinned bitch.
him out of the latest financial Kimura lock he's put himself in.
Mother's Day is next week, but more important than that, I'm hoping, praying, asking you guys to support the channel.
He still lives one of the most decadent lifestyles in America. And he doesn't even hide it. At least with the Millhouse coffee roaster shit, he tries to keep that on the down low. He'll just openly talk about and post photos and videos of his collection of vintage arcade machines, his fleet of cars including a fully modded Cybertruck, his multiple $1,000 plus watches, his giant RC track on his acres of land, his giant ass house that he had personally built in his 7-foot tall saltwater fish tank. This ain't
like, bro, if you're really strapped for cash, maybe you should sell some of that stuff, you know? Like, it just seems unnecessary to have all of that stuff there. Like, why the fuck do you need a Cybertruck for? Oh, yeah, I need it for the clout. It's just like, it's a waste of fucking money. A Cybertruck looks shit. I'm sorry, it doesn't look good. I'd rather just have, like, a normal fucking car rather than a Cybertruck. I mean, you look like a fucking weirdo driving that shit around.
Ain't me tanky posting about Jeremy living it up too big. He can ball out as much as he wants.
Like, and also, if you look at a Cybertruck, yeah, it looks fucking ugly. It looks terrible. There's plenty of better looking cars out there.
With his money. This is me pointing out that a millionaire who lives like this has no business extending his hand and asking for a handout from his audience. The Quartering being an ape when it comes to running his various businesses and being a giant consumer when it comes to managing his finances is the Quartering's problem, nobody else's. Moist Critical recently turned off all forms of his monetization because he already felt he made too big of a bag over the years to justify it, and felt guilty about his working class fans continuing to give him their hard-earned money. But Big Hambly over here, nah, he needs those donos, he needs those memberships, he needs that ad revenue, he needs a Rumble deal, he needs for you to buy his coffee, he needs for you to buy his MAGA mixology book, and he needs for you to pay for his hotel expenses. Holy shit, dude. Just get a cup, find a corner, to buy his MAGA mixology book, and he needs for you to pay for his hotel.
We could really use your support with travel and equipment expenses. In case anyone is wondering, there is a whale tier where you can co-host the show for the day. Nudge. Wow. Hey guys, I know that I'm able to afford a fucking Cybertruck, right? I'm able to afford all of this nice, extravagant stuff and all that stuff, but please pay for my fucking hotel. It's just like, you're an idiot. You're a fucking... That's just unbelievable.
Hotel expenses. Holy shit, dude. Just get a cup, find a corner, and start begging pedestrians for change at this point, nigga. Goddamn.
So, bottom line, you're a huge grifter.
Massive. Yeah. I've actually, so I have it drawn out. I have basically a 2-year plan that started last year. I'm pretty sure that like my channel will be irrelevant like by this time next year. There hasn't been a big push in the last year. And if there isn't another one next year to kind of refresh viewership, I've already kind of started planning my exit plan. So I'm maximum grift.
Well, that was the Mikeynomore video, and that was a really good fucking video. I actually learned quite a bit about the quartering. More than I would learn from Tactical Templar, let's be real about that. Which is interesting, because, like, Tactical Templar, right, has had run-ins with Comicsgate, and Mikeynomore has a video on Comicsgate. So if anyone wants to watch that, yeah, I'll put a link in the chat for you guys. I'll certainly do that for you. Yes. Here is Mikeynomore's video on the what do you call it?
You ever thought about what
video on Comicsgate? Right? Like, that is his video on Comicsgate. I haven't seen most of it, to be honest with you. But, you know, judging from this video, it's going to be probably pretty good. Right? But anyway, guys, thank you all very much for tuning in and, you know, hanging out with me while we go through this quartering stuff. Very much appreciate it. Very much enjoyed having you here. If you guys did enjoy the stream, I'd appreciate you hit the subscribe button and help me out. And to also be notified for anything that I do, which will be commentary videos in the future. Not at the moment though, not in the near future, but in the future I will be making commentary videos here. The video essays will return someday at some point. And yeah, like, we'll just continue to do streams on here about commentary and all that stuff. But I'm gonna head off now. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. Cheers, Zero. Have a great night. Peace out, everyone.
The world is a vampire sent to drain. Secret destroyers hold you up to the flames. And what do I get for my pain? Betrayed desire. And a piece of a game. just a rat in a cage. And someone will say what is lost can never be saved. Despite all my rage, I am still